Hey guys, this is going to be another ranking video, and this one's going to be my top 100 favorite video games that I played on my channel. And this is actually going to be a pretty interesting video because I've literally played over thousands of video games on my channel. If you guys ever look on my playlists, I have played just a crap ton of games basically. So making this list was pretty difficult actually because I had to go through a whole bunch of games. So this list, by the way, is not going to be focused on necessarily how great the game is or the impact or anything. Those lists are always hard to make, I think, because I always find it hard to make a distinction between how objectively good a game is versus how influential it is. For example, I always use like Super Mario 1 versus Super Mario 3 as a good example. Super Mario 1 is the more influential game. Super Mario 3 is the better game. Which one do I rank higher, right? It's like, same thing, Doom versus Doom 2. Doom is the more influential game. Doom 2 is the better game. So, how do you rank these things? So that makes it hard to rank. So for me, I'm just going to focus on my favorite games, not necessarily how objectively good they are or influential they are. My favorite games is based mostly on my sentimental feelings towards it. If I have good memories of playing it, that's probably going to be the number one factor. So yeah, for me, it's too hard to rank video games depending on how objectively good it is, especially since I haven't played all those games on my channel, right? There's been a lot of, like for example, Space Invaders, right? So Space Invaders is one of the most influential games of all time, but it's not a game I've played on my channel. So I want to stick to games I played on my channel. Yeah, so anyways, just to give myself a little bit something to work with, like a pool of games to choose from. And I've played thousands of games on my channel. So I give myself a pool of games to choose from, which is the amount of games I played on my channel. And I'm going to choose 100 of my favorite games that I played, like which ones I enjoyed playing the most, basically, out of the ones on my channel. So yeah, this is going to be like, a lot of it's just based on my personal criteria. So don't think of this list as an objective list in any way, because how can you really be objective anyways, right? With something like this, it's like some people have Zelda Breath of the Wild as the greatest game ever, and other people might have Doom. And how can you even compare the two, right? Doom and Zelda Breath of the Wild, they're two totally different games. And other people might have Super Metroid or Super Mario 64 or Tetris or Street Fighter 2, right? There's so many, or StarCraft, there's so many different great games, and it's really hard to objectively rank them in a way that makes sense to me. So yeah, I figured just might as well make a list according to my own sentimental opinions and thoughts, because no matter what kind of list I make, it's never going to agree with everybody. So might as well just make my own personal list. So yeah, this is going to be my own very personal list and rankings, not based on anything objective, okay? So it's really hard to compare. So I don't even know how you rank games. But for me, this is just going to be based on how much I enjoy playing them. So yeah, 100 games. This is going to take a while. I'm going to try to be brief with each game, why I chose it. But yeah, a lot of it's going to be mostly sentimental to my own personal preferences. So yeah, I'm going to go on with this list and see if you guys agree or not. Okay, so starting off with an honorable mention, I'm going to go with Black Myth Wukong here. This is a pretty good game. It came out last year, 2024. And yeah, I think some people will consider this game a Souls-like, although I don't really consider it technically a Souls-like, because first of all, you respawn without any penalties. You don't lose your money or any of your items or anything like in other Souls-like games. Also, unlike some of the FromSoft games, actually, like Elden Ring, for example, would be a good comparison since I played that game a lot and I beat it. Yeah, like compared to Elden Ring, the combat in Wukong is actually a little bit more varied. In Elden Ring, just like other FromSoft games, it's mostly about dodging or parrying. But in Wukong, it's not just about dodging and parrying. First of all, you have two dodges in Wukong. You have a regular dodge and you have a perfect dodge, which is if you hit it at the right time, like that. But you also have a skill tree that allows you to use many different movesets. So you don't have to change your weapon for you to use that. Like in Elden Ring, you have to, your moveset is really technically tied to your weapon. But in Wukong, you can just upgrade your skill tree, you can shapeshift into other forms. So the gameplay is a little bit more varied. Also, I would say the monster is a little bit more varied too. It's based off of Chinese mythology and folklore, of course, Journey to the West. And the animals and monsters that you face in this game, yeah, just the monster variety that you face in this game, I would say is even more interesting than Elden Ring, because in Elden Ring you have kind of Western fantasy, some Japanese horror inspiration, but those are really the two, right? Western fantasy and Japanese horror, those are basically where the monsters in Elden Ring come from. But in Wukong, it's just this large variety of different types of creatures and monsters and gods that you'll face, so it's, I would say, more variety in Wukong. I'm not saying it's necessarily a better game than Elden Ring, because Elden Ring is a lot more open world. So the exploration in that game is great. But yeah, in terms of the combat, I think I might actually prefer Wukong's combat, and it's just as difficult as any Elden Ring boss, I would say. I had to really learn this guy's moveset, for example, Ling Shu's. Yeah, like, it's still a pretty difficult game, of course. Yeah, so just like any FromSoft game, it's still difficult, but at least you get a lot more variety in combat and in bosses and monsters and stuff, so I think that's cool. Anyways, I have this as an honorable mention, didn't quite make my list because it's just so many games that I have to go through, right, to see which ones I like best, but definitely Black Myth Wukong deserves a mention. I think this should have got Game of the Year, personally. I know, like, what, Astrobot got Game of the Year last year, and you know, Metaphor with Fantasio, those Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, those are all good entries as well. But personally, I would have picked Black Myth for my Game of the Year in 2024. I think Yakuza Infinite Wealth was also really great as well. But yeah, I think, yeah, this is definitely deserves a mention. So have it as an honorable mention here. Alright, starting off with number 100, it's going to be Monument Valley. This game was originally released for iOS, which is interesting. I don't really play that many mobile games on my channel, but I really like this game. I remember back in 2013 and 2014 when this first came out, I was playing on my iPad, and it really was one of my favorite mobile games. It's a puzzle game, and I really love the art style, the graphical style, and yeah, and just love the different puzzles and stuff like that, which is pretty unique. So yeah, this is my number 100. I mean, all these games on my list are pretty good. It's hard to pick which one goes in which order, but I'm just gonna start off with this game just because generally I don't play many mobile games, but this one really really surprised me with how thoughtful it was designed, and I really like the art style, the music, and just overall design of this game as a puzzle game. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I mean, it's a bit short, but yeah, it's kind of like one of those short but sweet games. And again, it's not to say this is a bad game or anything like that. All the games on this list are pretty good. I mean, I had to pick 100 out of thousands of games, so all these games are pretty good. It's just that yeah, this is a bit of a short experience. And once you play Monument Valley, I didn't really go back to playing it again. I played this one because it came out on PC as well, and I wanted to do a video on it. Previously, I wanted to do a video on this game for a long time, but I wasn't able to because it was only on iOS. But after this game got released on computer back in 2022, I found out I can actually do a recording of this game finally. So yeah, that's why I went back to playing it again. But basically, once you finish it, there's not much replay value to this game. But anyways, still a very good game. Really like the graphical style, the puzzles, and music, and yeah, music and art style, and the design of this game is pretty cool. Based on optical illusions, basically, which is pretty cool. So yeah, Monument Valley. Right, number 94 is Raptor: Call of the Shadows. This is a shoot 'em up game, a top-down shooter. Probably my favorite top-down shooter. For a few reasons. Some of them being sentimental. I mean, this was one of my favorite DOS games I played back in the day when I was a kid, and yeah, so I love it for that, just being one of my favorite DOS games. But even then, this is probably my favorite DOS shoot 'em up game. I mean, there's a few. There's like Killer Blaster, there's Overkill, Major Striker, and those are also pretty good. But Raptor: Call of the Shadows, yeah, I mean, first I do like the graphics and stuff. I do think they're better than other shoot 'em ups of the time. And also the fact that you can upgrade your plane or your fighter jet in between rounds and missions was pretty cool. You have some pretty powerful weapons in this game, like Death Ray and stuff that you can eventually upgrade to. And of course, the music in this game was pretty nice too, especially that first stage. But yeah, give me that first stage music. Just listen to the music, the soundtrack. Yeah, it's awesome. The classic Raptor soundtrack.
No wonder
Yeah,
like,
so it's got one of the best DOS soundtracks out of any game. I think comparable. It's right up there with Jazz Jackrabbit, Traffic Department, Wonderful 2097. If you're talking about DOS soundtracks, yeah, I mean it's actually so good that a lot of people covered it with some rock guitar.
Very basic weapons.
In Traffic Department actually as well. So yeah, it's got one of the best DOS soundtracks. It's got great gameplay. Yeah, it's a pretty solid shoot 'em up. It's fairly it's just the right amount of challenge, I think. And yeah, overall, I have a lot of fun memories with this game. So it's probably my favorite shoot 'em up. Because many different factors, some of them sentimental, and some of them gameplay-wise, it's just really solid for DOS shooter. And I actually preferred this to the console shooters, to be honest. So you know, I did play some of the other console shooters, right, like Gradius and R-Type and Xevious and those types of Adarius and those types of shooters. But I actually still go back to Raptor because I still prefer it. So that's it. Raptor Call of the Shadows. Yeah, I don't really play too many shooters, but this one's definitely up there as one of my favorites. Okay, so number 98 is Gladiator, which came out in 1995 for DOS. It's kind of like a combination of like Gauntlet and basically like more RPG-like, because you can hire your own guys. And here I am playing with my brother. This is a game I played a lot when I was a kid, and I did play with my brother when I was a kid too. But
just one cash left.
But yeah, here we're playing it together, and it's pretty fun actually. You hire your guys, and here we're doing some split screen multiplayer, and you can kind of like control different characters here.
Yeah, this is the right one.
You can hire different types of characters. So there's a skeleton, there's a cleric, there's like a slime, archer. They all have special abilities, and it's really fun to play with someone else, right? So. Like here, playing with my brother is pretty fun.
Super powered cleric here.
And we used to play on one keyboard in the hot seat.
You always start out with less guys in the.
Yeah, this is.
Oh shit! This cleric does so much damage. I'm dead.
Yeah.
I killed him.
I think we were.
Oh no, another super powered guy. It's a soldier this time. I don't know if I could. No. Oh no.
Yeah, fire element. I was using a fire elemental that time. But anyways, it's a fun game to play with friends. The fact that you can hire your own guys, and then it's kind of like Gauntlet, but you can control different characters, and there's different types of characters you can hire and control. It's actually a really fun game. I wish more people knew about it. But anyways, Gladiator. Pretty fun game to play with friends. Okay, number 97 is Bloons Tower Defense 5, which is actually originally a Flash game, I think. I used to play this a lot back in university. Just you know how Flash was kind of a big thing back in the 2000s. And you know I'm old. Yes, I went to university in the 2000s. So yeah, back then Flash was big. So there's a lot of Flash games, and Tower Defense was one of my favorites. Bloons Tower Defense especially was one of my favorites to play for Flash games. And I remember in between studying breaks, I would just play this game over and over. I was stuck in the computer lab doing assignments, but then when I'm not doing assignments or studying, then I'm playing this game in between the breaks, right? This is like my way of cooling off, basically. I played so much of Bloons Tower Defense, and Tower Defense 5 is probably my favorite. Came out 2011. And yeah, it's a pretty fun game in my opinion. I still don't mind playing it. I mean, here I'm still playing it for like what, an hour in this video, almost an hour in this video. It's still a fun game to play. So it's just fun to upgrade my monkeys, and my monkeys all have these like you can upgrade them quite a bit actually. So there's quite a bit of upgrades you can do with these monkeys here that pop balloons. So if you guys like tower defense, which I do, Bloons Tower Defense is surprisingly addictive, even though it's kind of like a Flash game, but it's surprisingly addictive. So yeah, Bloons Tower Defense, and I speed up the time because there's so many balloons to pop. Yeah, it's still pretty fun to play. Alright, so number 96 is going to be Max Payne 2, The Fall of Max Payne, came out 2003. So I played the original Max Payne quite a bit actually back in the day. I really liked it. And Max Payne 2 is just a better version of Max Payne in pretty much every way. You also play as Mona, who is Max's girlfriend in this game. Yeah, this is just an improvement over the original Max Payne. And you have this signature type of slow motion, this bullet time that, honestly, Max Payne is pretty famous for this. It's like they have this bullet time, slow motion that was kind of popular in movies after The Matrix came out and popularized this effect. But Max Payne is one of the only games I know that actually kind of used this effect and used it pretty well, actually. So yeah, your hard-boiled detective, Max Payne, of course, and yeah, it's a pretty fun game to play. Yeah, you can go through this hard-boiled type of adventure. Right, so it's basically like a noir game. You do some investigations, some mysteries, you kill people, you do the slow motion thing, you beat up gangsters and stuff. Yeah, it's a fun game to play. I still don't mind going back to this game today. Max
Someone
Payne
was
2.
talking
It's
on
a
the
very,
other
very
line.
solid game. It's my favorite in the Max Payne series. Max Payne 3 was a little bit different. Not a bad game, but just I prefer the hard-boiled New York City setting of Max Payne 1 and 2, but 2 especially because it's a more improved version of 1.
Vlad was a perfect gentleman, reassuring his girlfriend.
Anyways, very, very good
Someone-
film noir.
Slap the sticker.
Alright, so number 95 is Tony Hawk's Underground 2 Remix. This game is one I actually did play a bunch back in the day. So yeah, Tony Hawk Underground 2. This is kind of like an open world Tony Hawk game. That's where you kind of go around, you do missions and stuff, and you talk to people. And yeah, because it's open world, you can just kind of roam around and do whatever you want. So basically, you have all the cool aspects of Tony Hawk. You're just kind of like doing the grindy tricks and everything. But you also have to combine that with the open world aspect of the game. And ended up being a game I played quite a bit back in the day. And the soundtrack for the Tony Hawk games are always really fun too. So they always had a lot of really cool soundtracks. Now Underground 2 on PC was the one I played more. But here I had the remix version for PSP, which is man, I keep falling down on this video, don't I? But yeah, this PSP version is, I guess, like a reduced version of the PC version. But I actually play the PC version the most. But anyways, yeah, because I can't seem to get the PC version again. It seems like it's not been re-released, so that's why we have the PSP version here instead. But yeah, Tony Hawk Underground 2, I did play this a lot back in the day. It combines the Tony Hawk skateboarding tricks with open world gameplay and a cool soundtrack, of course. You gotta have that. So yeah, a remix basically is just like a bite-sized version of Tony Hawk Underground 2. So anyways, I think definitely this is personally sentimentally my favorite Tony Hawk game because I played this one the most. You know, I know that a lot of people love Tony Hawk Pro Skater 2, 3, and 4, but for me, yeah, Underground 2. That's the one I grew up with. Alright, so number 94 is Super Bomberman 4 from 1996 for the Super Nintendo. This is actually a Japan-only game, but I loved playing this game when I was a kid. I know it's a Bomberman game, so the mechanics are pretty straightforward here. Like, it's Bomberman, so you go around, it's kind of like a puzzle-ish game where you kind of explode the bombs to try to figure things out. So it's kind of like a puzzle game, but you can play it with friends. Really fun playing with friends. But what I really like about Super Bomberman 4 compared to other Bomberman games is that in this game, you get these like vehicles and animals that you can like ride after you like defeat them. So basically, there's like, and they have their own powers and abilities too. So not all the enemies, but some enemies, like after you defeat them, they turn into eggs, and then you can hatch them, or mechanical eggs or organic eggs, depends on which type of enemy. But the machine types will be mechanical eggs, and the organic type, I mean, the biological animals would be like, you know, organic type eggs. But yeah, it's really cool that you can do that. Most Bomberman games you can't do that. And in number 5, you just have the kangaroos. You don't really have too much variety. So I like number 4 the best because number 4 you can have all these sorts of animals that you can ride and use their abilities and stuff, which is really cool. It's cool being able to ride like different machines and animals, and it really helps make the Bomberman game a little bit different and unique. So yeah, I really do like number 4. I played this one the entire way through. Yeah, I actually beat this game the entire way through in this video. So yeah, Super Bomberman 4. Definitely my favorite Bomberman game. Very, very fun to play. Alright, so number 93 is going to be Gunstar Heroes, which was released in 1993 for the Genesis. And Gunstar Heroes is one of the best, it's one of the best platformers on the Genesis, and in general for that era, because it's a great shooter. You can play with a friend. I just think it's so nicely polished. So it's kind of like if you took Contra, and then you added like having different weapons and abilities to pick from. And overall, I just enjoyed it way more than Contra, actually. Yeah, it's just it has more platforming elements. Yeah, you have more interesting, you know, weapon choices here. Even boss battles, I think I prefer Gunstar Heroes more. And here I'm playing with my friend. Yeah, I mean, some of the boss battles are kind of crazy, but yeah.
Watch out for the ends.
Yeah, it's really fun to play this with a friend, just like with Contra. But I like Gunstar Heroes. I think it's probably one of my favorite platform shooters. So for sure, this is a classic of the Sega Genesis era. You know, so many good games from that era. Gunstar Heroes being one of my favorites. I played this with my brother back then. Played this with my friend.
And no, you keep rolling until you hit the 1. Yeah.
Yeah, see, there's so many like interesting elements of this game for the levels. They have so many interesting ideas.
No.
Nice job, Trent.
All right, so number 92 is Freelancer.
Hey, King.
This is a game
you
that's
know
not
it was
too
gonna
well
get
known,
hot
and
out
honestly, I think it should be,
We're
because
not
this came out
done
in
yet.
2003.
We're just waiting for the others.
I think it's a PC
What
exclusive,
others?
and it's by
We
Microsoft, and
suspected
Microsoft
sometime
never
now
re-released this
Order has
game,
had
which is kind of a
ties to
shame,
organized
because this
crime.
game is ahead of its
They
time in
may
many
even be
ways.
hiding
It's kind of like a
some base
space
used-
combat, also simulation
deals.
game, where you kind of like, you go across the galaxy, you do like trading and stuff like that. Yeah, you can like trade for stuff, you can upgrade your ship. You go to different like starports and stuff like that, but then you also have space battles as well.
I work for Deep Space Engineering.
And
Yeah, it's
you
the
are.
voice lines and
Mr.
dialogue is hilarious
Card.
in this game because of how wooden the actors' lines are, and they repeat the same dialogue over and over. So it's me and my
Fine,
brother really
you're
had a good
okay.
time laughing at the
Well,
dialogue
you
in this
must
game.
know.
Good enough
I
for him.
have heard a rumor.
Yeah, his name is
Alright, I'm
Trent.
listening.
Trent. Yeah, so this is the type of space battles in this game, which is actually really fun to play. I actually enjoyed the space battles of Freelancer better than some of the X-Wing games. You know, the X-Wing games may be more well-known, and Wing Commander, those games may be more well-known, but I actually enjoyed Freelancer probably the most out of those. Really good space combat, and just like flying in space is awesome. Yeah, dogfights in space are awesome. But in addition to this, you have the management side, kind of an RPG side to this game as well, where you go to different starports, you talk to people, get information, do some trading. You know, so this game's overall pretty awesome. I think more people should know this game. I hope that Microsoft will release this game at some point. It's not on Steam or anything, but this is a really nice game. I wish more people would know about this. So yeah, Freelancer, definitely one of my favorite games.
Stay here and
Okay, number 91 is Traffic Department 2192. Another game that's not very well known for most people. This is a 1994 DOS game, was never re-released. So yeah, it's
There you go.
tough to get a re-release of this one, I guess, because yeah, not many people know about it. But I love this game because
Yeah,
so it's at its core, it's kind of like a shooter game, but it's more than that. Like the story in this game is just crazy. Like, first of all, you play as this protagonist, Lieutenant Velasquez, who isn't like, she's not mentally stable. She's kind of like a psycho, and and she's a female protagonist who's also kind of psycho. She doesn't treat anyone like, she has kind of disdain and like disrespects pretty much everyone around her. So she's not a protagonist that's very likable. At the same time, there's some just crazy stuff going on with the story here. So this is the main part, which is the shooting part. But what I find it more intriguing with the story of this game. Crazy stuff happens in this game. Like people die, get blown up. She gets turned into a cyborg at some point. There's mind control. There's aliens. There's all sorts of crazy stuff. Betrayal. There's all sorts of crazy stuff happening in the story. Cloning also happens. Like, yeah. Plus the soundtrack for this game is awesome, man. I really wish more people know about this game because this has absolutely one of the most amazing soundtracks in the DOS game. This is right up there with Raptor Call to Shadows and One Must Fall 2097. Yeah, those are the other games I want to mention for the soundtracks in DOS. So yeah, this is definitely one of the best DOS soundtracks I've ever heard. Whoever composed this, and Highway Hunter as well, whoever composed these soundtracks, I mean, amazing. Yeah, too bad more people don't know about this game. It's really obscure. But Traffic Department 2192. Yeah, I loved this game when I was a kid because of the crazy, insane story to this game and how really colorful the protagonist is. Yeah, I never really played quite a protagonist like Lieutenant Velasquez before or since. So, yeah, crazy game. I love the soundtrack. Yeah, anyways, this soundtrack is right up there with Raptor and One Must Fall 2097. Best DOS soundtracks. And Jazz Jackrabbit, I think that's a pretty good one too. Right, number 90 is Prince of Persia for DOS. So this game goes way back. It may have been one of the first games I've ever played. I think I played this when I was like, what, 8 years old or something, 9 years old. This must have been one of the first games I ever played. Because I remember my parents actually playing this game. My dad used to work at this. Actually, when my dad was doing his master's at Queen's University, he would sometimes bring home these floppy disks with different games, and Prince of Persia was on one of them. And I remember my dad and my mom actually playing this game for a bit. I'm sure they don't remember, but yeah, me and my brother do remember this. And therefore, Prince of Persia is one of the first video games I ever had experience to. I think Highway Hunter was probably my first one, but Prince of Persia definitely amongst the first. Love this game back in the day, and this is a hard game to go back to because it's yeah, it's not an easy game, but really still like it. It's a cinematic platformer that has puzzles in it and stuff. You got to be really careful with your platforming in this game, because yeah, there's like a lot of certain jumps and stuff you got to make. Like, but always nice to go back and play this game. Just one of my favorites, sentimentally. I mean, all the games on this list are ranked kind of with sentimentals, but yeah, Prince of Persia does hold a special place in my heart for being one of the first games I played as a kid.
I was like
so
one step off
yeah, it's still a great cinematic platformer today. All the great, like all the other Prince of Persia games, there's so many Prince of Persia games. All the other Prince of Persia games are, I mean, Sands of Time, right? And you got like the reboot in 2008, then you got the newer reboots. I still like the original 1990 DOS game. Actually, 89 if you really want to count the release year. There's just something really special about this one that holds a special place in my heart. So yeah, Prince of Persia for DOS. Alright, so number 89 is Diddy Kong Racing. And this is a game I played with my friend a lot back when I was in elementary school. We used to go to his house to play N64 almost every day. So I have fond memories of a lot of N64 games, including Diddy Kong Racing, of course made by Rare, who made, like Rare and Nintendo basically made all the good games on the N64. And yeah, what I like about Diddy Kong Racing is that while the multiplayer, yes, doesn't compare to Mario Kart 64, of course Mario Kart 64 I think is a better multiplayer game, but Diddy Kong Racing I think had the better story mode, and also it had like this, well actually I don't remember if it actually had a real co-op mode, but I remember me and my friend like kind of really working to try to progress in the adventure mode, which was really cool because you had to like unlock these doors, and this kind of reminds me of Super Mario 64 by the way, where you need to have a certain number of golden balloons or something to unlock these doors. But I remember back in the day, me and my friend would really try hard to unlock these doors by finishing first place in races, and we would just like take turns trying to finish first place, and we really tried to, you know, get that achievement, unlocking more and more doors, try to reach the end in the adventure mode. So yeah, I have fun memories of Diddy Kong Racing. Of course we played multiplayer too, but my fond memories was me and my friend working hard to unlock those last doors in the adventure mode together. I think that was really, yeah, really good memory for me. So anyways, Diddy Kong Racing, objectively, I'm not sure if it's better than Mario Kart 64. I think Mario Kart 64, like multiplayer-wise, was probably more fun. But I also like Diddy Kong Racing. You can have different types of vehicles, right? Not just the land carts. You can also eventually get planes and the water hovercraft things as well. So I like the variety in craft. And also the adventure mode, which I think was far better than anything in Mario Kart 64's like story mode. I don't think Mario Kart 64 even had a real story mode. So yeah, Diddy Kong Racing at least had a really good story mode. But yeah, I have good fond memories of playing this with my friend back in the day. So it's kind of a sentimental pick, and a lot of these picks on this list are sentimental for me. So anyways, Diddy Kong Racing number 89. And yeah, I still do think it's one of the best games on the N64. I mean, the N64 didn't really like have a vast library of games, but definitely Rare games were one of the, you know, them and Nintendo made the standout games basically on the system. Alright, so number 88 is Black Mesa, which is a remake of the original Half-Life, because this is a really good remake, and Half-Life, the original game, really was kind of, it really opened my eyes. So it's a very innovative game for a first-person shooter genre because it introduced scripted events. And before Half-Life, there really was not a lot of scripted events in first-person shooter games, because it was really just go down this hallway, kill a bunch of monsters, get a key card, right? That sort of thing. Those games all came from the Wolfenstein 3D Doom type of gameplay. So Quake, you know, was like that. Duke Nukem 3D was like that. But having scripted events in Half-Life really changed everything really for first-person shooters. Because nowadays, right, you can play like Call of Duty and Halo and all these other newer games. Yeah, they all come from the scripted events that Half-Life pioneered. So if you guys are going to play Half-Life, do play Black Mesa, because this is a good remake of the original Half-Life game. And Half-Life being one of the most influential first-person shooter games, and just one of the most influential games ever. Yeah, for introducing the scripted events, and also for having a that story, kind of story-driven as well, making first-person shooter games more story-driven, because originally first-person shooter games were just about shooting. But Half-Life made it not just about shooting, but also having a kind of story as well tied to it. So, anyways, I felt this way more about the original Half-Life than Half-Life 2. I know that Half-Life 2 was also a very well-received and highly acclaimed game, but personally, for me, I resonated more with the original Half-Life actually than Half-Life 2. I know Half-Life 2 is great, and a lot of people love Half-Life 2, but for me, I was more about the original Half-Life. So anyways, Black Mesa, the Half-Life remake actually is going to be on my list pretty high here, number 11. Okay, so 87 is Papers, Please, and this is a pretty unique game. It's by indie dev. Played this all the way back in 2013, right? It came out in 2013. What's really cool about this game is it is not an action game or anything, but basically you play as this immigration officer, and you choose like who to let into the border, but then you basically, it gets really ethical later on, or moral, I guess. You have to decide between letting people in, you know, just doing your job and you're like rejecting everyone that you're not supposed to let in, or do you like kind of appeal to them? Because some of these people have like, they have tragic background stories or something, and then it really plays on your morals, right? Whether like, for example, some of them are like separated from their family. Do you let them back in even though they're not supposed to? Like, there's some moral decisions you have to make in this game, which really makes it pretty interesting. So I really do like the premise of this game. There's really no other game like it. It's pretty unique. So anyways, Papers, Please was pretty fun to play. I remember beating this game back in the day because it really sucked me in. Yeah, this is a pretty fun game to play. It is different. Okay, so number 86 is Unfinished Swan from 2012, and I played this on PS3. This game is also kind of interesting and unique. It's more like a puzzle game slash adventure game where everything looks like it's kind of like a painting, and then you use like basically paint in order to create paths and find your way throughout the level. It's very uniquely designed. Yeah, I don't think there's been a sequel. There's no other really game like this. I found the art and design to be really unique, and the gameplay to be really unique and fun. So yeah, Unfinished Swan is still one of my favorites in terms of puzzle adventure games. Yeah, this is and I remember being just this in Monument Valley. This is almost like a console, like home console version of Monument Valley in a way, if you're talking about unique art design and style. Okami is kind of like that too, but yeah, this one being like a puzzle game in that sense, and also having that unique art style just like Monument Valley. Yeah, I really enjoy playing this one. I beat it. It's not a very long game. I mean, it's as soon as you figure out the puzzles, but I really enjoyed every moment I had with this game because the art style is pretty amazing and pretty unique actually. So anyways, I love playing Unfinished Swan. It's too bad there's no sequel or anything, because this game was pretty unique for its, especially for its time. Okay, so speaking of puzzle games, let's go with number 85, Catherine Full Body. This is another puzzle game, but it's made kind of by the same, it's made by Atlas, who are the same developers as Persona. So the character here, Vincent, I think his name is, yeah, like it has Persona vibes to it in terms of the art style, but it's actually a puzzle game. And I played this with my friend back in the day, because you can actually play the puzzle part multiplayer if you want. So here we're doing a multiplayer run through of Catherine, and this was a fun game to play. Like I remember, like back in the day, me and my friend would play this like all night, trying to get to the top of basically the goal of this game is to pull out these blocks and do in a way that you can get to the top in time without being taken out by the monster. So yeah, it's got a pretty interesting premise, and even if you play by yourself, it's a pretty fun puzzle game to play, but it's even better if you play with a friend. So yeah, it was a fun game for me to play back in the day. So I do have sentimental memories of Catherine playing of course, the original one, but the full body one is the one to pick up if you're going to pick it up now, because it contains a lot of extra content. So yeah, we're going to go with Catherine full body
Hold that
here.
one, or
Yeah, it's a pretty fun game to play with people.
pull that one out. Yeah.
Okay,
That's the one
number
that fires
84,
multiple
another
shots at once.
sentimental pick here, because I'm guessing most people who make a list like this will never have this game on the list. But Catacomb Abyss came out in 1992
Yeah,
for
these guys
DOS.
just pop out of
It
nowhere and
is,
start
I would
attacking
say, not the very first, but definitely
You need a
the
red key
first
to get
real
there.
first-person shooter from
The
id
mausoleum
Software.
grounds.
People are going to say Wolfenstein 3D. Well, I consider this to be actually first-person shooter. So Catacomb Abyss came out before Wolfenstein 3D.
Backwall niche.
And I actually liked it better than Wolfenstein 3D. And the reason is
shield
because
size.
the atmosphere and the setting. So Wolfenstein 3D, right? It takes place in,
Interesting
you know,
edges.
you're this guy who's infiltrating the Nazi stronghold. You're trying to kill Hitler. So yeah, we get that. That's a World War II kind of era, and a lot of games are like that. I actually prefer this horror kind of aesthetic, this more fantasy aesthetic of Catacomb Abyss. Too bad id Software and honestly no other game developers ever went back to this game because it's not as well known. Wolfenstein has had a lot of entries, but no one has gone back to Catacomb, unfortunately. But I still love this game. I mean, the aesthetic of this game, it's like pixelated, but it's also horror, and it's also scary too. Not having music in this game actually makes it more scary, and having the zombies pop out of the ground. You also have teleporting giant eyeballs in this game. You got demons, you got skeletons coming out of the walls, you got trolls coming out. Like, this game is actually genuinely scary for me when I was a kid. And id Software did a really good job on this game, and I really think this game should be better known. It's not well known, which is kind of a shame, because it really is one of my favorite id Software games, Catacomb Abyss. Really enjoyed playing this as a kid. I beat the shareware version so many times.
It's really old.
Oh yeah, you have these guys that kind
primitive
of like
and stuff, but
yeah, these guys wearing hoods that kind of just roam around firing fireballs
as far as
at you.
atmosphere goes, this game's
I love the setting of this
pretty
game
good.
and,
It's still one of the
and
best
the
back in the
characters and the
day.
monsters and
have
everything.
all these amazing monsters and stuff.
Yeah, it,
You know, like
it genuinely
trolls
is
and,
creepy
and devils and
in
ghosts
many ways.
and like
So,
pretty much
anyways,
everything you can imagine.
Yeah,
I think
we
in the
love this
later
game when I
ones
was a
they
kid.
even have like
Still
robots
love
and
it now.
stuff. So monsters are pretty cool.
Alright, so 83 is Left 4 Dead 2. This is a very fun first-person shooter game. Of course, you would play it with your friends. Here I'm playing it with my brother, but it's really fun to play with your friends because this is really a fun multiplayer game. You're just the premise is pretty simple. You kill zombies. It's really that simple. But the way that this was implemented, Valve originally created this Left 4 Dead. Actually, Left 4 Dead 2 might be a different developer, I'm not sure, but Valve did create this franchise. I like this better than Back 4 Blood. Unfortunately, Back 4 Blood never really got the same vibe for me. Like, I think that Back 4 Blood just was kind of disappointing. I didn't have the same type of feeling playing it as with Left 4 Dead 2. But I really like Left 4 Dead 2. Yeah, it's a fun co-op zombie shooter. And there's been many zombie shooters, right? I guess you could say like Dead Island is kind of like that too, but nothing beats the kind of the game that kind of started that all, which is Left 4 Dead. So, very, very fun to play with friends. So, anyways, I have good memories playing this game with my friends. Fun game.
I got some ammo right here.
All of them.
Okay, so number 82 is Watch Dogs 2. Watch Dogs 2 is my favorite game from Watch Dogs series, and one of my favorite open world games, honestly. Because yeah, you just like, not as an open world, but it's in a recreation of San Francisco, which is awesome. Yeah, I used to live in San Francisco, and seeing this like really pretty good recreation of San Francisco. I think this is the best recreation of San Francisco I've seen in a video game. It used to be Driver San Francisco, but this supersedes Driver San Francisco. It's just much more detailed. Yeah, so when I played this game, it happened at a time when I was
I really like Watch Dogs 2. You can do like hacking and stuff.
So
and obviously it's like
this game really came out of
like
nowhere.
it's
I was
completely
really
open
homesick
world.
about
You can do whatever you want
back when I was like
as
in
well.
2016.
And
I've been
yeah,
living
the
for like
graphics are really
almost 2
nice
years
and
at that
stuff.
point.
So
So being able to play this game and go back to like essentially a really good recreation of San Francisco was a godsend to me at that time. So yeah, and the gameplay is pretty unique to Watch Dogs, right? Because it's an open world game, but you can like hack people, you can make stuff happen. You can use all this technology to make, it's in San Francisco, makes sense. It's a tech city. So I think this is still my favorite Watch Dogs game. I still think it's kind of underrated. Like, I don't know why more people didn't talk about this game. But it really is awesome. And just being able to free roam in San Francisco, a really good recreation of the city. And being able to cause havoc and stuff by using like all these hacking tools and stuff, it's just really fun. So, anyways, Just Cause. Sorry, thinking about another game, Watch Dogs 2. Yeah. Okay, so 81 is Just Cause 2. This game I do have a lot of fond memories with. I played this a lot back in the day too. Also one of my favorite open world games. Just being able to blow all this shit up is amazing. And yes, Just Cause 3 and Just Cause 4 are also good games too. Obviously graphically superior to this game, but the gameplay is all pretty similar. All the Just Cause games play pretty much the same way. You're in open world, you have this grappling hook that you can grapple to anywhere, and then you can blow just a ton of shit up, and it's really fun. You have all these explosive weapons to play around with.
Kind of like Saints Row 3 and 4, you get points for causing
like I said in the video, it's like Saints Row where you're causing mayhem and stuff like that in an open world setting. It's really fun to play, and it's usually in some kind of tropical setting too. So you get the like here, I'm riding some sort of car, right? Yeah. Here I'm riding some sort of car here. Yeah. And, it's just fun. I mean, I actually beat this game. I played this one a lot.
Oh.
But yeah, it's fun. It's basically like
kind of events, just like
taking GTA, but you're kind of set in some tropical place.
I just did a hijacking
and yet lots
in mid-action while driving,
so
while hanging on the front of another car.
I really did have a lot of fun with Just Cause 2. Again, Just Cause 3 and 4 are also really good games. I just had more.
No one's even driving this car. It's like driving itself.
Like feelings about Just Cause 2 because I played this one the most back.
No one's even driving that car.
Yeah, really great.
Oh my god. Alright, hijack.
Alright, so number 80 is going to be Into the Breach. This is kind of a tactical game that was released, back 2018? Oh man, I played this so much back in the day. So back in 2018, kind of took a hiatus from work. And yeah, just when I was staying in Korea for a bit. And yeah, what I was doing wasn't doing anything. I would just play Into the Breach all day. I mean, it's a fun game to play. It's kind of like... It's not really like a long game in any aspect. It's an indie game, right? But I beat it, and it's really fun. It's you queue up your actions. What's unique from this game than like other XCOM-like games is that you queue up your actions, and then on the next turn, you can see the enemy's actions, and then you kind of can like predict them, and then you can kind of use the enemy attacks against them. So you can have like one of the enemies fire at another enemy, for example. So I like this this other strategy. Aspect to this game. So yeah, it ended up being one of my favorite tactical strategy games. So Into the Breach, it's short but sweet. I really do like playing this one. I played this like so much back when it came out. So yeah, fun to go back to every once in a while, but definitely one of my favorite tactical games. So if you guys haven't checked it out, definitely check it out. It's one of my favorite indie tactical games, Into the Breach. Okay, so for number 79, I'm gonna go with Imposter Factory here. So this is probably one of my favorite indie games. I think I had it on my favorite indie games list. And I think what's special about this one, what made it very memorable for me, is the emotional impact and content of this game. And just like the previous titles made by the same developer, I think he also made To the Moon and Finding Paradise as well, both of which are also very emotional stories. But Imposter Factory, I think this one made me kind of tear up the most. It's really about yeah, this couple who actually the guy lost his memory later on. I mean, if you play the game, you'll realize why. And then yeah, this girl basically goes through the entire story of how she met this guy, and then the whole the whole story. It becomes very emotional, impactful. And yeah, I mean, geez, I was basically shedding tears by the time the story in the game was done. Yeah, it really made an emotional impact on me, I think. Yeah, just at the beginning of the game, you don't know what to expect. You basically some weird things start happening, and then you meet this girl, and then yeah, later on it turns out you have a lot of history with this girl. So, anyways, very emotional story here, and It's definitely a little bit different than the previous two titles, although it's related, but a little bit different from the previous two titles. The previous two titles, you were trying to basically restore people's memories, which is kind of like this one as well, but in this one I think is a little bit more personal, I would say. So anyways, yeah, these three titles, especially this one, Imposter Factory, yeah, really, I think, made an emotional impact on me. So that made it a very memorable indie game for me. So this game is almost like, the gameplay is like, yeah, it's not too much gameplay, honestly. Like, it's almost like a visual novel in a sense. But it's a visual novel where you are kind of moving your character around and talking to other characters and stuff. So there is some gameplay, but it's like, there's no combat in this game or anything. It's basically just reading and, yeah, like, discovering the story of these two people, of this couple, essentially. And yeah, I would say this is more, these three games are pretty much almost visual novels in a sense, except you're just walking around and talking to people. That's really what it's about, and reading. And yeah, it's yeah, it's just a very emotional game, I would say. Going back throughout this couple's history and just seeing what happened to them, yeah, really made me tear up. So anyways, I think that emotional impact made this game very memorable for me. So that's why it ends up on this list. Yeah, number 79 here, Imposter Factory. If you guys haven't played the other, any of these games, I definitely recommend all of them if you guys want to play a game that has emotional impact, really. It doesn't have too much gameplay, right? You're just moving your character around. I think it's done in RPG Maker, so yeah, but it's not like an RPG in any way. There's no combat or anything. Just more about reading story. It's really like a visual novel using RPG Maker, essentially, as the engine. So, anyways, great game. Right, number 78 is going to be Driver San Francisco, and the reason why this game,
Never mind that
I
these
think,
guys are actually.
so the reason why I like
people,
this game, first of all, it's set in San
I don't care
Francisco,
about their
which
well-being. I just care
is,
about
like I said,
killing these
San
guys.
Francisco is kind of a very sentimental
That's all I
setting
care
for me
about.
because I used to live there. It's always cool to see a recreation of San Francisco. Now, this isn't quite as detailed or as big as Watch Dogs 2's recreation, but what's unique about Driver San Francisco as a racing game is the fact that you can switch bodies with anyone who's driving any other car in this game, and that's insane. Like, it's not, that's just a crazy, like, concept that I've never seen in any other driving game. I mean, sure, in games like GTA and other open world games, you can hijack cars, but in this game, you can literally, like, you can just, while you're in a car, you can just suddenly switch over to another view. So, while in another car, without having to get out of the car or anything. Like, you don't get out of the car in this game, but you can just kind of, like, go from an overhead view and kind of just, like, mind control another person who's controlling other cars, which is just kind of crazy. Like, I've never seen this concept done in other games before. That's what makes Driver San Francisco really unique. Yeah, I've really never seen any other game utilize this type of concept where you can just, like, mind control other cars. It's really unique. So anyways, being able to control other cars by kind of mind controlling other drivers.
Head-on car crash.
Yeah, being able to mind control other cars and crash them and stuff, and use them to complete unique missions and stuff like that. Like, this is definitely one of my favorite racing games because it's so unique. So yeah, I think it's honestly kind of an underrated game. So if people don't know what Driver San Francisco, definitely check it out. It's a really cool game. Alright, number 77 is one that's pretty close to Driver San Francisco, I think, in terms of how much I like it, but Burnout Paradise. Also one of my favorite driving games. I don't have too many driving games on my list, but I think Driver San Francisco and Burnout Paradise are two of my favorites. Burnout Paradise because you can just drive in this open world with a rockin' soundtrack, right? Guns N' Roses soundtrack. The whole Burnout franchise is really, like, I kind of like this more. It's almost like Flat Out, I guess. If you guys have played Flat Out before, but it's more expanded where you can get points for crashing your car. And how much damage your car can cause. But in Paradise, it's like an entirely open world version of Southern California as well. So being able to drive around Southern California is such an open world, just causing whatever havoc you can. Yeah, I love this about Burnout Paradise. So definitely one of my favorite driving games. So I had to put it on this list because I did play this a bunch back in the day. I just love driving around in the open world here. This open world recreation of Southern California mountains. be able to like do damage and get money for causing damage. So yeah, and definitely my favorite Burnout games as well. So Burnout Paradise definitely, I think for driving games, that's why it's gonna make this list. It's one of my favorite driving games. Okay, so number 76 is Fable Anniversary. Kind of a remake of Fable, which originally came out in 2004. So Fable was probably, I would say not the first, but definitely one of the first games I got for the original Xbox. And the original Xbox was the first game console that I had. My parents wouldn't let me have a Super Nintendo, unfortunately. Or PlayStation or N64. So what I got, my first console I got was the original Xbox. Do you have any potions or food? So Fable was one of the first games I played on it. I did beat the entire game. I think Fable was very good. It's a good game. Not necessarily like the best quality RPG, but certainly it was innovative in some ways. Like having the morality system, like people thinking you're good or bad, and having that kind of karma system was pretty unique in it. Gameplay's okay. But I think it's having this kind of fantasy world along with that system of you can choose to be good or bad, basically in Fable. And this Anniversary remake of the game is probably the best way of playing the original Fable. Now it's not my favorite Fable game. That's actually Fable 2. But I don't have a video of Fable 2 on my channel because that's Xbox 360 exclusive, and I don't have an Xbox 360 anymore.
You've learned some new moves, have you?
Fable 2 has never got re-released.
Try to hit me with a flourish.
Yeah, not my favorite. It's not my favorite Fable game. It is the one I have on my channel though, because Fable 2 never got re-released. I really hope that Fable 2 and 3 get re-released, but they don't. But the original Fable game is still pretty good. Brings back a lot of memories for me. So yeah, the Fable Anniversary Edition, probably the best way to play the original Fable now. Yeah, still pretty solid RPG to go back to, I think. Yeah, and there's not been any new Fable games. I think they might be making a new one, but certainly we haven't seen a new Fable game in a long time. Alright guys, so number 75 is Mega Man X. So this was probably my favorite, or one of my favorite platformers of that era. Certainly on the Super Nintendo, everyone knows about all the great platformers on the Super Nintendo, right? Like Super Mario World and Donkey Kong Country, Super Castlevania 4. There's a lot of great platformers on the Super Nintendo, but I pick Mega Man X over all of them. Just because for a few reasons. Like, this is my favorite Mega Man game, of course. I prefer it over all the old school Mega Man games. I know that's kind of contentious, right? A lot of people love the old school Mega Man games. That's why we got Mega Man 9 and 10. But I like the upgraded graphics of Mega Man X. You play as technically a different robot, but he plays very similarly to Mega Man. You have the traditional Mega Man mechanics that made Mega Man kind of different. Being able to choose your level in a non-linear fashion. You can just choose which which level to face, which stage to be on, and which boss to beat. And after you beat the boss, you get their weapon, which is something that was very unique about Mega Man compared to other platformers. And in addition to that, right, you have the 16-bit upgraded graphics of X, and you have the challenging platforming. Well, it's not like super challenging to the point where it makes you want to give up, but I would say like a lot of the old school Mega Man games are just really, really difficult and challenging, but X strikes the right balance, I think. It's challenging, but it's not too challenging, and yeah, you get everything else: the music, the graphics, the gameplay, being able to choose your levels in non-linear fashion, using the boss's weapon against them in creative ways. So yeah, the whole concept, it's all really, really cool and unique. So yeah, I love Mega Man X. I played this a lot back in the day. Beat the game. Yeah, definitely like being able to use the boss's weapon after you beat him is really cool. And then in addition to that, you have that wall slide, right? Being able to go up the wall. That's something that you see in a lot of platformers nowadays, like Metroidvania style platformers. You see that kind of ability sometimes, being able to like go up the wall like that. But Mega Man X was the first that I played that you can do that. So just give that extra flexibility of being able to being able to just go jump almost anywhere you want, actually. So it's give you more freedom than the original Mega Man games for sure when you have that ability. And of course, charging your Buster Cannon. They take a lot of the a lot of what you got from the original Mega Man games and really just upgraded them in many ways, right? X just has more abilities than the original Mega Man does. So anyways, the level design is great as well. I love all the level design of Mega Man games, but this one keeping with the tradition of having a level design that's very unique to the type of boss that you're facing. So yeah, anyways, yeah, like Chill Penguin I think is what the stage is, and of course it's in ice. So yeah, I remember like trying to face these bosses so many times to try to beat them, because it is a challenging game. But yeah, at the same time, this is probably one of my favorite platformers of this era. It's just so polished in many ways. So yeah, it's my favorite Mega Man game, Mega Man X, Capcom Maker. Right, so number 74 is In Stars and Time. Came out last year. This game really surprised me because, I played so many indie games, and so many even indie RPGs. Like, there's a lot that I like too, like Crosscode and Eastward was a good one. Didn't quite make this list. Undertale didn't quite make this list. Those are all great indie RPGs. But In Stars and Time is really cool, really unique. What gets me is this type of Game Boy aesthetic to it, which is like very charming in its own way, this black and white Game Boy type aesthetic, but also the fact that it contains like a time loop. Within this time loop, your main character kind of remembers what happened, but the other characters don't, and that makes for some pretty interesting interactions. And there's a lot of like weird stuff that happens in this game. I do think this game was inspired by Undertale and Earthbound in many ways, but
by a giant rock. What the heck?
Yeah, very, very unique. The main protagonist is kind of a weird fellow, and yeah, the dialogue's very interesting as well, and the combat is very much inspired by Undertale, I think. So yeah, Undertale and Earthbound, I should say. Yeah, so this is definitely more inspired by Earthbound. So, and any game of these games inspired by any of the Mother games, so it's going to be kind of quirky. So anyways, In Stars and Time, I think it's definitely worth to check out. Definitely one of my favorite indie RPGs, and it made this list over Eastward and Undertale, so which are two of my other favorite indie games, indie RPG games, I should say. So definitely check out In Stars and Time. Okay, 73 is Tex Murphy 4: The Pandora Directive, another point-and-click adventure game. This one involving live action. And it's probably my favorite game of the Tex Murphy series. I know they have a newer one, Tesla Effect, but yeah, I like 4, The Pandora Directive. I think this one, personally, I enjoyed the characters and the dialogue in this one the most.
My client's
the story, but
he's not having too much
yeah,
luck.
basically you play as Tex Murphy, and it's really like kind of a tongue-in-cheek type of thing. They don't really take themselves seriously, and it's really funny. I know the full motion video looks outdated now, but it's honestly like got its charm as well. So when I look back at some of these full motion videos, they're cheesy, but it's also very campy. So I do like that campy aspect of it, and normally you control the game from a first-person perspective like this, which is, I guess, is also pretty cool for a point-and-click adventure. So yeah, definitely one of my favorite point-and-click adventure games. I do love the campy type of humor in this game, and the charming elements of this game. So yeah, my favorite in the Tex Murphy series. If you guys haven't played Tex Murphy games, they have their niche, I think. Definitely very niche games, but I like them. So anyways, Tex Murphy 4. Alright, so number 72 is Xenogears, and this is a Squaresoft game actually, but this game has, I think to this day, still never been remastered or re-released in any way. It's one of my favorite PS1 RPGs, and certainly I think one of the best games on that system, and one of the best games from that era. I'm not sure why Square hasn't come back to this. I think the developer of this game eventually made other games like Xenosaga and Xenoblade, but to me Xenogears is the OG Xeno game, and still the best one. The story in this game is very powerful and emotional, and I really like the combat system as well, because if you guys can see the combat system, like basically it's combo based. So it's kind of like if you took Legend of Legaia, which is another great game on the system, and that one is maybe even more combat based than this one, more combo based, but still, being able to have this combo based turn-based combat system is pretty cool. But in addition to that, you have a pretty crazy story, very memorable characters. You have these graphics that are pseudo 3D, I guess, not like fully 3D, but pseudo 3D, and yeah, it still holds up today, I think. So, and on top of that, you are able to pilot mechs in this game as well, so it's also kind of like a mecha game too. So this game is like a combination of a lot of different things. So yeah, great characters, great music, great story, and kind of a unique combat system and the ability to do martial arts as well as combat mechs and stuff. Yeah, overall, I think this is a great game. It's kind of a slow burn, but it's also a really, really good game. So I recommend anyone, you know, looking for a PS1 RPG. This one and Suikoden 2 are probably going to be near the, or in Final Fantasy Tactics as well, will probably be near the top of most people's, you know, greatest all-time PS1 RPGs. So yeah, I think Xenogears has to make this list for me, anyways. Okay, so 71 is Soul Calibur 4. This is probably my favorite Soul Calibur game. I have probably the most sentimental feeling about Soul Calibur 2, because that's the one I played the most back in high school. But Soul Calibur 4 is the better game. And yeah, the graphics are better, there's more characters and everything, and I think overall the best Soul Calibur game. I mean, Soul Calibur 5 and 6, the thing about Soul Calibur 5 is they got rid of a lot of the original characters, and the story was just, I know it's not, you know, it's a fighting game, it's not supposed to have a good story, but I mean, Soul Calibur does have kind of a story, at least, they at least try. And Soul Calibur 5, it's just completely, like, the story's just completely messed. So, yeah, the characters, like, you don't really care about them. But Soul Calibur 4 has all the characters that we know and love, like Selmina here and Cervantes. Soul Calibur 6 kind of brought back a lot of the characters that people liked from 4, because they realized that 5 was, the 5 was not a good Soul Calibur. I think 5 is probably the worst Soul Calibur. But yeah, 4 is personally my favorite. I think this was the peak of Soul Calibur, was at 4 for the PS3 generation. So, and I love the graphics. Soul Calibur has always had amazing graphics, and gameplay-wise, I like this better than a lot of fighting games because you can use like swords and stuff, and weapons like this. They all have their kind of own unique weapons, and you have that 8-way run in Soul Calibur that you don't get with a lot of other fighting games. And I love playing as Talon. She was like my favorite character since Soul Calibur 2. But yeah, overall, one of my favorite fighting games, Soul Calibur, and 4 is my favorite out of the series. Okay, so number 70 is Until Then.
Which is not really
yeah,
realistic.
I actually kind of
I
forgot this was actually on my list for a bit.
So
that's why when I said Stellar Blade might be the newest game on this list. No, it's actually Until Then.
Yeah, this seems a little bit
Until
more
Then is
realistic
this
for
indie
people
game
to
that came out this year, 2024,
taking some time to
and
write.
really surprised me. It's a kind of a visual novel adventure game, and it's a really good game. Like, honestly, I know this was a
quality umbrellas.
First of all, this game is set in the Philippines. There's not a whole lot of games set in the Philippines. It's cool to see this kind of like Filipino teenagers and how they communicate with each other. It's pretty similar to how other teenagers communicate.
Everyone ignored Charles.
And having this sort of simulation here, like this chat going on, where people read the messages, kind of reply slowly like that. Yeah, it's really relatable. And then having just the story,
You're not
right,
supposed to talk during
where
a
you
chess
have
match.
you have this developing coming of age story, but you kind of have like this sense of uneasiness too, because you know there's a mystery going on in this game. Also, I really love the retro pixelated graphics as well. Really encapsulate this game and really makes it more charming, I guess. So overall, I really do like Until Then. Yeah, it's basically like, I just feel like you're a teenager, right, in the Philippines, contacting your friends, talking about like stuff that teenagers talk about, and then unraveling this mystery that's going on as well. So you have all that suspense and mystery at the same time, and the characters are actually pretty. Yeah, the characters are pretty interesting in this game, and it just wants me to, like, Kathy, for example, is a pretty interesting character. So it's, you get to know about them because they have their own distinct personalities and stuff. So I think the creator of Until Then did a really good job. I think this is a very... I ended up playing this game a lot longer than I expected for this video. So yeah, surprised me. This is definitely one of my favorite indie games in modern years. Just done really, really well. Like story, characters, music, graphics, everything in this game. Just Alright, so number 69 is Alcana 4 Rhythms Across the Blue, one of my favorite visual novels. So this visual novel is, unlike some of the other visual novels I've played, it's not exactly a dating sim. I mean, kind of it is, but it's more focused on the fictional sport in this game, which is called Flying Circus. And this fictional sport, they go in pretty in-depth in this game, and they talk about different techniques and strategy and tactics in this game, and they compete in tournaments in this game as well, and it really got me sucked in. So yeah, I really got sucked into this visual novel a lot. So this ended up being one of my favorite visual novels, yeah. Okana is just great. I really love how they portray this fictional sport. It really made me, yeah, get immersed in this visual novel. Like, they really talk about it as if it's a real sport, and it's like you play as this coach basically of these girls. Of course, you have feelings for these girls too, but you're also coach of these girls to try to like make them succeed with the sport in tournaments and stuff. So it really makes you kind of involved in this game actually if you play it. So I really do like Okana, and at the same time you don't take it too seriously as well. It's not like a very serious game, so it's a really nice game just to relax, right? It's one of those slice of life type games where you can just relax, have fun, enjoy the story, enjoy the sports in this game. So very good visual novel, one of my favorites. Alright, so 68 is Overwatch. The original Overwatch. I mean, Overwatch 2 is pretty much the same game, but I played the original one more when it first came out in 2016. I remember playing this a lot, especially with D.Va, my favorite character. Yeah, this is like a team-based first-person shooter, where you team up with other people, it's only online, but I ended up having a lot of fun with this game. I didn't end up playing it for that long because like they kept changing like the different builds and stuff, and kept nerfing characters, patching characters and stuff. So you do have to put a lot of time into this game if you want to keep up, which is the case with a lot of online games. But personally, like when this first came out, I did end up playing it a lot. It's fun. I mean, I can still play it to this day. There's always objectives to achieve, and you work with your team to achieve that. But yeah, I enjoy first-person shooters, and this being like a team-based shooter, I haven't played too much of these before. Overwatch really kind of got me into it, and I ended up playing this for quite a bit back in the day. So yeah, fun game to play with friends, for sure. So yeah, Overwatch. Alright, 67 is Blake Stone, Aliens of Gold, man. And yes, I know you guys are probably thinking this is your personal pick, because I know it has to be, right? Like, nobody else would have put Blake Stone on the top 100 games, so no. This is a game I would love playing when I was a kid, honestly. One of my favorite first-person shooters when I was a kid. I don't know, I mean, I just like this better than Wolfenstein 3D. I know this is the same engine as Wolfenstein 3D, it's just set in space. Like, you can just call this Wolfenstein 3D in space with aliens instead of Nazis. But yeah, I had a lot of fun with this game. It's fun to hear the monsters, their sound effects. I even made a video like kind of parodying the sound effects in this game. They're so funny. Love the weapons in this game. Yeah, the whole like alien like sci-fi setting. I like sci-fi. So I like this so much better than Wolfenstein 3D actually. And basically, what's the other game? Rise of the Triad is the other one. So Rise of the Triad's a really good game too, and I think I like this a little bit more than Rise of the Triad as well, because I played so much Blake Stone back in the day. Just loved it. I mean, it's an old school first-person shooter.
Haynes! Oh, love that one.
And sound effects are so funny, and just brings back a lot of good memories for me. I love playing this as a kid. So again, I know.
And I love how every weapon takes
like who else would put Blake Stone on the top 100 list?
Which means as long as you have
the
weapon,
so just kind of my personal favorite pick in this. More people should check this game out. I know it's not
as long as you have the weapon,
it's kind of like more on the obscure side. But hey, I love my obscure games too.
You will always be for that weapon. So
yeah, I love Blake Stone. Basically one of my favorite and first-person shooters I played back in the day. So that's sentiment.
Okay.
Okay, so 66 is Portal 2, 2011. Again, one of my favorite puzzle games. I love Portal 2.
Animal Kingdom.
Yeah, so basically in this game, if you guys haven't played Portal before, it's about making portals and using it to solve different puzzles in this game. And Portal 2 is, I think most people consider this better than Portal 1. Yeah, it's definitely one of Valve's best games, and Valve has a lot of good games, but certainly I think for the puzzle game genre, it's considered one of the best puzzle games. I had a lot of fun playing this back in the day. Now, it doesn't necessarily have a lot of replay value, but
probably equivalent to the
certainly like when you first play this, and it's kind of like the experience of playing Unfinished Swan or Monument Valley for me. Those kind of puzzle games that have, it's about the experience when you first played the game, and Portal 2 does have that experience for me as well. So yeah, it's another very sentimental pick. I played this a lot back in the day when it first came out. So yeah, definitely Portal 2, one of my favorite puzzle games of all time, has to be on this list.
faster.
Okay, 65 is Cloudpunk. This is another indie game that I ended up playing a lot longer than I
guess that's
expected,
why
just like with
everyone's
Until Then.
choosing, right?
But this is more of a adventure, yeah, kind of an open world adventure game. So I actually got this game waiting for Cyberpunk 2077, and I actually ended up enjoying this a lot more in some ways, because it's like from the premise of the game, it's just like you're just delivering packages. Okay, it doesn't seem that special, but once you actually play this game, you get deeper into the story and stuff. It's a lot more than that. There ends up being like a lot of suspicious stuff happening. You end up trying to investigate a lot of things, and I mean, the story in this game is actually pretty good. And you play this as this protagonist Reina, and your dog is like basically the CPU in your like flying car ship thing. I do like the visuals. It's obviously very, very cyberpunk. So I do like the voxel pixelated visuals in the cyberpunk setting, and being able to maneuver your car like this anywhere. And yeah, it's not just delivering packages, although that's the core premise of the game. There's definitely a pretty decent story here as well. So if you guys haven't checked out Cloudpunk, I highly recommend it. It's definitely one of my favorite indie games of recent years. So I did not expect to play this as long as I did. I actually ended up beating this game. That's how much I enjoyed it. And then you can actually play in first person in this game actually as well. You don't have to play in third person.
Would be really
but
cool
you
if you hijack other cars. Yeah, be like Cyberpunk.
yeah, you can't hijack other cars in this game, but
That's the
yeah,
kind of game I want.
it did add a
Cyberpunk's
first person setting eventually with the update, and then the DLC
Asian
as well,
version
City of
Adam
Ghosts.
Jensen,
So,
aka
anyways,
Cyberpunk Wei Shen.
love playing this game, especially during
Badass.
COVID, which is when this game came out. Right, so 64 is Cyberpunk 2077. Yeah, this is a hugely anticipated game when it came out. Fortunately, it launched with a bunch of bugs, so I was unable to progress very far in this game. But I do have to say I really love the setting of this game, and of course the graphics and visuals are just amazing. It blows your mind, especially with ray tracing on. Graphics are amazing in this game. Really feels really immersive, like you're in the Blade Runner, cyberpunk type of setting here. So yeah, and you play as V. That's the protagonist's name. But yeah, like this game is huge. It's an open world game. Like just being able to go anywhere, and with this level of graphical detail in this type of cyberpunk setting, and I love cyberpunk.
Including new mirrors to pick
So
from.
yeah, this is definitely got to be on my list because I do love that stuff. So in many ways, it's basically, if you like cyberpunk and sci-fi, then Cyberpunk 2077.
But I think this is actually much better than
list, right?
GTA, right?
So yeah, being able
Unless
to
we're
just
talking about
drive around like
GTA 6
this,
that's coming out, but
go anywhere,
definitely,
and
better looking
explore,
GTA
and
5.
also the story is pretty good, and the characters and everything.
In fact, I think this is the best looking GoPro.
Yeah, I mean, I know
when
Witcher
there's no
3
text
got a
versions.
lot of awards and attention, but I personally enjoy this more than Witcher 3, just because it has more of my kind of setting. I prefer sci-fi to fantasy in general, so that's probably why. But yeah, Cyberpunk 2077. Yeah, it belongs on this list. Right, number 63, Star Wars Jedi Survivor. This actually ended up being one of my favorite games of 2023, which is saying a lot because 2023 was absolutely stacked with great games. But I love Jedi Survivor, probably one of my favorite Star Wars games too. I think overall an improvement on Fallen Order. I did play Fallen Order as well. Felt like the pacing was a little bit slow at times, but I think the pacing in Jedi Survivor is a lot better.
Oh shit.
And also the combat is very nice as well.
What the heck?
So, you think the combat would be kind of like taking a step back in this sort of cinematic game, but it's not. It's not like God of War or something. Sometimes the thing with God of War is I felt like there's way too many cinematics, and you end up having these like quick time events and stuff. But in Jedi Survivor, it definitely doesn't have as much of that as God of War. So I like Jedi Survivor better than God of War, God of War Ragnarok, certainly for me. Plus, I love Star Wars, so you're Star Wars, right? It's whole Star Wars type of, basically you're in the Star Wars setting, right? You got the whole background and everything, the characters, you're in the Star Wars universe. And this is one of my favorite Star Wars games. You got the combat here. The combat is definitely intense. It's not exactly Souls-like, but it's intense in the same way that Stellar Blade was intense. Like, you still gotta know how to block and parry and stuff like that. You still gotta be on your toes in combat, so it's definitely pretty challenging. At the same time, you know, you still get to enjoy the story, the cinematics and everything, and the beautiful graphics that you see in this game. It's just probably the best looking Star Wars game, I would say. So anyways, Jedi Survivor. Yeah, really one of my favorite Star Wars games. Alright, so number 62 is another Star Wars game, Star Wars Battlefront 2. And this is the reboot version by EA. Not to say that the original version wasn't good. I love the original Star Wars Battlefront 2 as well, and that one actually had offline co-op and everything. So in some ways, the original Battlefront 2 I still might like better, but this version I played a lot with my brother, and so therefore I have some sentimental value with this one. And, you know, the graphics are obviously a lot better with this one. And, you can still keep a lot of the same stuff as the old Star Wars Battlefront 2. So you have the ability to play as heroes, you have the ability to ride vehicles, you have the ability to engage in large mass-scale battles.
You didn't even try to hit me.
So yeah, I mean, oh my god, like I'm riding this like PT or something here. Anyways, I'm doing pretty well here actually. So yeah, being able to play this with my brother and friends online is really fun. So yeah, I end up really enjoying this game. You can play this in third person or first person mode, which is really cool. So again, Star Wars Battlefront 2, another one of my favorite Star Wars games. I know EA had a lot of controversy at first with this game when it came out because of all the microtransactions, but I'm glad that they figured that out. Now it's a much better game. It doesn't have as many, it still has microtransactions, just not as much as before. So anyways, yeah, love Star Wars Battlefront 2. It's a fun game to play with friends. Man, what kind of a kill streak am I going on this one? Is that a 15 player? Yeah, well, 15 player kill streak. That's pretty good. Hey guys, number 61 is L.A. Noire, which came out in 2011, and I know this is kind of a hot take, but I prefer L.A. Noire to Red Dead Redemption 2. It's a hot take, I know. Red Dead Redemption 2 I know is great, but personally I enjoyed L.A. Noire more. I like the story, first of all. Yeah, I think the story of both games are really good, but I also enjoy the story of L.A. Noire. But this one, I just like the setting better. I don't like the Wild West setting as much. I like the setting 1940s Los Angeles. You know, you're a hard-boiled detective, Colt, I think his name is.
So I call the police.
So yeah, it's been a while since I played this game, but I do remember beating this game.
What you were doing out here?
And I remember like this game. Okay, so first you have some investigative elements of this game where you like you talk to people, you question them, you interrogate them. And not just that, but the amount of facial expressions that you see. I think they made like Rockstar made like a new technology for this game where you have like different facial expressions from the people. Like it's very well articulated, so you can tell if they're lying or not. So you can kind of like see their eyes shifting and moving and stuff. Like they made new technology for this game that I think still hasn't really been surpassed in some ways. Like that makes this game really unique. Even to this day, I mean, this technology really holds up. So, unfortunately they didn't make a sequel to this game yet, but I really enjoy playing this game. I love the 1940s LA setting. It's sort of open world, like you can still drive around and stuff. Not as open world as GTA, but I do like the unique, you know, 40s setting of this game, being a hard-boiled detective, investigating different mysteries, the facial expression and animation.
Jesus, I'm glad to be out of there.
Mr. and Mrs. Black don't seem to have the happiest home life.
He's too scared to divorce her, and she's too much of a shrinking violet to throw him out. If this hadn't happened, they could have stayed miserable together forever.
You think she could have killed him?
I
sure as hell doesn't seem the type. Stranger things have happened.
Alright, so number 60 is Muv-Luv Photon Melodies. And Muv-Luv is a series of visual novels. It's interesting because, I mean, there's several parts to it, and they're all kind of different in tone. Muv-Luv Extra is kind of like a dating sim, so it's very slice of life. Muv-Luv Unlimited is when the aliens start invading and stuff, so it's a little bit more serious, but it's still kind of lighthearted overall. And then Muv-Luv Alternative is very dark and emotional. But I actually personally like Photon Melodies the best, actually. So this one is a different kind of story. You play as a different character than the main Muv-Luv game, so it's kind of almost like a side story or a collection of side stories. But I found it actually very, very funny. Even though the main character is different than the main character of the other Muv-Luv games. yeah, still very, very funny, and it was actually really hilarious because the main character is trying to be serious, but then all these girls around him at the academy, like, they're not serious, and it's just, yeah, basically just what happens is hilarious, right? The whole dialogue and exchange and situation and everything. Yeah, I just thoroughly enjoyed my playthrough of this one. And I know Muv-Luv Alternative is many people's favorite out of the series because it is very dark and emotional and impactful, but for me, I like the fact that Photon Melodies tries to be serious, like the main character tries to be serious, because it is a serious situation, but it's not. Like, at the same time, it's like, it's very funny, right? It's like the girls don't take it seriously, even though the situation is very serious, and the character is trying to be serious, or the main character is trying to be serious, but the girls are not. And yeah, anyways, that leads to very funny situations, I would say. Yeah, especially the main character, he's like, he doesn't know what to do a lot of the time, and yeah, it's pretty funny. Anyways, I really enjoyed my playthrough of Muv-Luv Photon Melodies, probably my favorite out of the series, and it's a collection of different side stories. This is actually only one of them. There's actually a collection of different side stories, so it has a lot of content. So anyways, that's the one I actually recommend. I think that's the one I like the most. I don't recommend this one be the first Muv-Luv game to play. Of course, I think Extra is probably the one that people should start out with, and then you play through Unlimited and Alternative. I think this one is the one to play after you play through all the main games. And yeah, personally, I like these side stories maybe even better than the main 3 games. So anyways, yeah, Muv-Luv Photon Melodies, had a really fun time playing this one. Yeah, it really cracked me up.
Oh, nice.
Alright, so number 59, Super Mario Odyssey. This is like another one of those cases where, like, I kind of consider Super Mario 64 because that was the one I did play a lot back in the day, and it's a very, very influential game. But I have to admit, Super Mario Odyssey is the better game. It's yeah, like nowadays, if I go back to Super Mario 64, I can still play it. It's still not very playable, but I'd rather play Super Mario Odyssey. This is just a, yeah, this is like expanded version. Like it's more things to do, and plus the ability to like control other characters by throwing a hat at them is incredible. Like that's just having this one twist and makes everything like so much more innovative and exciting. And I have to applaud Nintendo for reinventing Mario games all the time. They always find a way to make each Mario game so interesting and exciting. So this is probably my favorite core Super Mario game. If you want to talk about it, I love Super Mario World, of course, Super Mario 3, Super Mario Galaxy, and 64. These are all great games, but Super Mario Odyssey will be my pick for my favorite mainline Super Mario game. Oh, and Super Mario Wonder as well. But yeah, I think Odyssey is probably my favorite. It's just the best 3D Mario game. I mean, it's just, yeah, it's, you can do so much in this one, in the ability to transform, I mean, not transform, but kind of take over other enemies with your hat is, that's an incredible touch. Like here I'm controlling like a bullet bill to get past this part. Yeah, Nintendo's really incredible at coming up with these kind of ideas. So anyway, Super Mario Odyssey. Yeah, I picked this instead of 64 for my Super Mario 3D game here. Alright, number 58 is Sonic 3 and Knuckles. This is probably my favorite Sonic game, although it's pretty close. I really was having a hard time deciding between Sonic 3 and Sonic Mania. Sonic Mania is also really good. I love Sonic Mania. But this one holds more sentimental value for me, and honestly, this one has better music. I mean, as the reason why they couldn't really re-release Sonic 3 in some ways is because of Michael Jackson's involvement in some of the music of Sonic 3. But that also goes away to explaining why Sonic 3's music was so good. So Sonic Mania, I would say gameplay-wise, Sonic Mania and Sonic 3 are pretty close. They're both really good games for Sonic. Probably the best Sonic games. But the music, I think I put Sonic 3, I give Sonic 3 the edge because of the music. I love the music of Sonic 3 a little bit more than Mania. But yeah, this is it's a very, very polished Sonic game. It's basically what you expect with Sonic the Hedgehog. And I do think that Sonic works best in 2D, unlike with Mario. Mario seems to work well in 2D or 3D, but Sonic seems to work best in 3D. I mean 2D, yeah. Sonic seems to work best in 2D. So, anyways, it's been probably my favorite Sonic game. So, yeah, I played this a lot back in the day. I actually beat this game, so I have a lot of sentimental feeling about Sonic 3 and Knuckles. So Sonic 3 leads right into Knuckles, so basically it's like 2 games in one. But yeah, I love the platforming elements, and it doesn't have too much story, but it's Sonic. But it's just the platforming elements and the music and the design of this game. Yeah. Really awesome to play. One of my favorite platforming games. 2D platforming games, I mean. Right, number 57 is Dredge, and Dredge is an indie game that was released in 2023. Another great game from that year, and this game honestly surprised me as well. I didn't expect it to be like playing as much as I did, because I thought this was just going to be like a fishing simulator game, and that's what that's what basically some people told me. When the page told me, it's like, yeah, it's just a fishing simulator game. It's not just a fishing simulator game. This is like a full-blown like exploration adventure game here. Fishing is just one small aspect of this game. Like, this game you can do a lot of exploring with your ship here, and especially at night you ran into like these sea monsters and sea creatures and stuff.
Like mystical,
and there's a mystery in this game that's happening that really honestly reminds me of Outer Wilds in a way, which is another great game that will be on this list. So yeah, Dredge. There's a lot of mystery, adventure, exploration. Like, wow, every time I go out at night I get a little bit nervous about it. And it's like, yeah, these deep sea creatures. I mean, there's like monsters in this game, sea monsters. I think I go into one this lava area where you have this like fire monster that eats you. But yeah, it's a really surprisingly, this game caught my attention much longer than I expected. I think this is where
I die on, because Devil's Spine is.
Oh yeah, here's where I go into kind of this devil area where you have this giant fiery anglerfish that eventually ends up eating you. So yeah, what can I say? This game really surprised me with how immersive it actually was and how much it sucked me in. So yeah, Dredge, great indie game. All right, so for 56, I have Subnautica, which is kind of similar to Dredge in a way, because it's kind of an open world exploration game, but this one from a first person perspective.
Looks good.
Also reminds me of Outer Wilds in a lot of ways as well. But yeah, this one you're mostly exploring underwater, and this one I'm doing in VR actually as well. So it's also a VR game. So what's really cool about this game is that, well, first of all, it's kind of a survival game, so you can craft stuff to survive underwater, and there's also a mystery in this game that you have to solve as well. And this game is huge. The scope of this game is massive. Just like, yeah, if you go underwater, there's I actually don't know if I explored the limits of this game in my playthrough, but the map is huge. So there's different areas and zones that you can go in this game. And honestly, kind of scary, because there's like sea monsters and stuff in this game that can easily kill you and swallow you whole. So you really got to be careful in this game. Like, I think, unless I was driving this big submarine, I don't think I honestly felt really. I feel like I was really on the edge of my seat on this game. Like, wow, I haven't felt like this tense in a game in a long time. Because like this one is like, wow, I'm on the edge of my seat here. There's like sea monsters and stuff everywhere, and in the darkness you never know when they're gonna come for you. So wow. So anyways, the crafting aspect and the survival aspect, the exploration aspect, the adventure aspect, the mystery aspect, yeah, this is just a great game. It's just one of my favorite open world exploration adventure games. Amazing. So anyways, guys, if you haven't checked out Subnautica, definitely check it out. This is a great game. It's probably one of my favorite VR games as well. Yeah, just going underwater and
coral reef on its back.
Yeah, being able to check out these like huge sea monsters underwater
with a whale and also
crazy.
Coral reef. And then you could.
All right, number 55 is Dark Sun Shattered Lands, and this is another sentimental pick because this was probably the very first RPG I ever played. And the story about this game is my dad brought home a CD one day, and I don't know if he remembers how he got that CD, but that was Dark Sun Shattered Lands, and he had it, and yeah, I don't know how he got it, but we ended up playing this game, and it was a fun game. I mean, this is Dungeons and Dragons property, so it's a Dungeons and Dragons game. So it's a very traditional Western RPG, but it's a very early RPG game as well. And surprisingly, like this game has a lot of depth to it, because there's like a bunch of side stories, sub-quests, and everything. You help people solve mysteries, you help people kill like enemies and stuff like that. There's a lot of like side quests here. and you can go pretty in depth with the characters. You create your own characters, level them up, of course, give them special abilities. You face many crazy looking creatures in this game. I loved playing this game when I was a kid. I mean, this is just one of my favorite RPGs. It's good to go back to and play it sometimes, actually. Yeah, it's an obscure game, I know, like probably because it's DOS. In 1993 DOS, not many people played DOS games. But yeah, this was definitely one of my favorite DOS games and one of my favorite RPGs from back in the day. Because it's like, yeah, this had a lot of good stories in it, and I think this had a lot of fun playing this game. The characters, the story, the combat, how in-depth the RPG elements are. Yeah, it's a great game, guys. I really wish it was more. Alright, so number 54 is Mother 3, a 2006 game for the Game Boy Advance, and this was never officially released outside of Japan. I'm playing a fan translation here. Essentially, this is the third game and final game still in the Mother series after Earthbound. And just like with Earthbound, it has a really interesting story and characters, very unique combat system. Yeah, I think that in general, the Mother series have always been pretty interesting, and only one has ever been released outside of Japan, which is Earthbound, which is Mother 2. But yeah, Mother 3, it's a more darker game with more mature themes, even compared to Earthbound. And in that way, it's also pretty unique for a JRPG as well. So, man, I really enjoy playing this game. It's definitely one of my favorite GBA games, and just one of my favorite RPGs from this era. Yeah, it's yeah, once you play like Mother 3, and definitely pick up the translated version. Yeah, this story is kind of crazy, and it's sad actually. It's really something, an emotional story. But anyways, also a very good game in pretty much every way. Yeah, character, story, combat system, everything. The humor, of course. Yeah, so the combat system has always been pretty unique to Earthbound. This something that later games like Undertale would kind of employ as well, as having a unique combat system like this. But yeah, Earthbound has that kind of rotating ticker type of combat system, which is really cool. Yeah, so this type of rolling counter combat system that you see in Earthbound as well. Anyways, Mother 3 is my favorite of the series. I like it better than Earthbound. It is a deeper, more mature, darker, more mature story. But yeah, really enjoyed playing this game.
Good job, dog.
Alright, so number 53 is Worms World Party. I played this a lot back in the day with my brother. It's another one of those multiplayer games I played a lot with back then as a kid. This is essentially an expanded version of Worms Armageddon. Worms Armageddon is another great Worms game, of course. Probably more well known, but I think Worms World Party is my favorite because it's just an expanded version of Armageddon. And what I like about this game is of course, the turn-based combat, strategy, all the funny noises and sounds that the worms make. I usually name them pretty funny names too. And all the crazy weapons that you can use, like Concrete Donkey is another one, Old Woman is another one, Super Sheep is another weapon.
I love this about this game. You can basically kill a whole bunch of people before their team even did.
Yeah, so it's just fun to play this game. All the different maps that you can play. Holy Hand Grenade, right? That's another great weapon there. Yeah, it was fun to play this game. I played this a lot with my brother back in the day. Worms Armageddon, man, it's pretty fun. I should probably play this with him again someday, because this is just a fun game to go back to and play. I think it's hard now because I know there's a remastered version of Worms World Party, but there's a lot of issues with it. I'm not sure if they were fixed yet. But yeah, Worms World Party is definitely one of my favorite games from back in the day.
I noticed that this level map is basically shit.
It's know you the art of war. Very well, good sirs.
I mean, it's a British design game, so they have British names.
It's like waffles and lemon or something.
Yes, sir.
Right, so number 52 is BlazBlue Central Fiction. And you might be surprised a fighting game is this high on my list, but I don't really consider this necessarily a fighting game. This is actually a visual novel wrapped in a fighting game. Because there's so much reading in this game, it's almost like a visual novel, but that also makes this more interesting because BlazBlue is more focused on the story compared to other fighting games. Most fighting games don't really focus on the story that much. BlazBlue does, and that actually kind of got me more into it, and it's very, very anime-like, and I do like my 2D anime fighting games. All sorts of interesting characters in this game, And yeah, the fact that this is a anime 2D fighting game with a decent story is why I like this game. There's a lot of visual novel elements in this game. The fighting actually only happens sometimes if you play through the story, because most of it's actually reading. But you know, that's also what makes me really like this game. It's one of my favorite fighting games. So definitely you do have the fighting aspect here, right? So it's at its core, right, it is a fighting game, but I really do like the fact that it does have a pretty decent, well, maybe confusing story, but it does have a story, and more of a story than most fighting games do. And yeah, the whole anime element and visual novel element to it. So yeah, BlazBlue Central Fiction. So Central Fiction is probably the best BlazBlue because it's the last one. There's Calamity Trigger, there's Continuum Shift, and there's Chrono Phantasma as well. But Central Fiction contains the most characters and is the conclusion of the story. So yeah, just because of the huge expanded roster in Central Fiction, this is probably the best BlazBlue to play and the one to get. Right, number 51 is Roller Coaster Tycoon 3.
There you go, a coaster inside of a coaster.
Yeah, I like this game a lot.
Crazy, right?
I know I don't really play too many
put a roller coaster right inside of this
construction building games. I don't play too many city builders like SimCity or City Skylines. I don't play too much of that. But when it comes to Roller Coaster Tycoon and Planet Coaster, yeah, these types of games I really do like to play. Because I guess it's just the fun of making my own roller coaster and being able to ride them. Yeah, so that's really fun. I do remember playing the original Roller Coaster Tycoon a lot back in the day. Building my own roller coaster and making people ride them and stuff, that's really cool. And theme park as well, which is kind of related. But I really do like building my own roller coaster. And then in Roller Coaster Tycoon 3 and other like later roller coaster simulation games, you can actually ride them. And that's actually really fun too.
Fix it.
So anyways, yeah, this is like shot at me riding this roller coaster that I built. Yeah. Whoa. So it's pretty cool. I mean, just having a simulation roller coaster, right? If this was in VR, it would actually be really cool. But anyways, love building my own roller coasters, love being able to ride them, and seeing all the other peeps ride them as well is really fun and enjoyable. So yes, I do play simulation games from time to time. And, yeah. Wow, so number 50 is NBA 2K12. This is my favorite NBA 2K game, just like a personal preference. This was the first NBA 2K game I played, and I really loved it, especially for these historic players. And this is something that's unique to NBA 2K12, I think, that they have these
Cincinnati.
These legends here, and that really sparked my interest in NBA history as well. So having all these like historical legends in this game and like having profiling them, they have 15 different players that you play through in different scenarios that are all-time legends.
Okay, so that's
a really cool thing that you don't really see in other NBA 2K games. So NBA 2K12,
yeah, so
it may not be like
odd.
necessarily
I would expect
objectively the best NBA 2K game, but I do like the different modes in this game, especially the NBA greatest players. And having this kind of vintage type of look to some of the matches is really cool. Again, you don't see that in other NBA 2K games either. So yeah, I have to say NBA 2K12, I had a lot of fun with this game. It also has a blacktop mode too. I also play the blacktop mode a lot, and I played this game a lot back in the day. Probably one of my favorite basketball games. So maybe it is my favorite basketball game. I think that's why it's the highest basketball game on this list, or highest sports game on this list.
It's the beats ball.
So yeah, I had so many good times with this game, NBA 2K12. Love this game.
Just 4 to shoot.
Alright, so number 49 is Assassin's Creed 2.
I can't even use my controller,
so came out in 2009. And I played this quite a bit back in the day. I think Assassin's Creed 2 is personally my favorite. I know Black Flag, a lot of people love Assassin's Creed 4, and even Odyssey is one of the great ones as well. But just like a sentimental, which is what this list is based on, I had the most experience with Assassin's Creed 2. That's the one I played back on the Xbox 360 back in the day, and I love the whole historical aspect of Assassin's Creed is nice, and this one being set in the Italian Renaissance, right? Something special about the Italian Renaissance, you know, historically, just a really nice setting. I know Assassin's Creed has always been in different historical settings, but the Italian Renaissance is personally one of my favorite settings historically. And Assassin's Creed 2, I felt like it was it still had a lot of the stealth aspects of the first Assassin's Creed, but it's combining it with more and more open world gameplay, right, that we'll see from the later games, and more RPG, although it's not entirely RPG. Like when they switched it to Origins, I think, or what, yeah, Origins is when it really started becoming more RPG. Like this one is when it wasn't quite that much RPG yet, but yeah, still, like it's a great game. It's personally my favorite Assassin's Creed. So yeah, Assassin's Creed 2 and plus
like
Brotherhood and
Juliet,
Revelations as well, but I'm gonna choose the original
Juliet.
Assassin's Creed 2.
Juliet, we're for Daryl Juliet.
Right, number 48 is Warlords Battlecry 3. This is a real-time strategy game that was released in 2004. It's the very last one in the Warlords Battlecry series, and it's the best one and my favorite. It's too bad they don't make any more Warlords Battlecry games, but this was one of my favorite RTS games back in the day. Okay, so one thing is because there's a huge number of races to choose from, just the sheer size of the amount of factions you can choose in this game is nuts. Like, you can, like, I think you can choose like 20 factions in this game. There's a huge amount of factions. So you have a whole bunch of different races, all with their own unique units and stuff. Like in this one, there's one race that produces just dinosaurs, I think. Like different types of dinosaurs. And then another race, I think the one I'm playing as, we can like produce like different insects, I think. There's Plague Lord, there's like, you can produce, actually I'm Demon. Yeah, I think I produce demons. So there's one that produces demons, one that produces insects. Another one, there's like a fairy one. Like there's so many different races, and yeah, that's really cool. They have so many races in an RTS game. So anyways, yeah, Warlords Battlecry 3 is definitely one of my favorite RTS games. Just, if anything, just based on the sheer amount of different races you can select. But also it's a pretty solid, you know, in terms of gameplay in itself, right? So definitely, if you guys haven't played it, I know it's not a famous RTS game, but if you guys haven't checked it out, do check it out, because it's a very solid art. Right, 47 is going to be Golden Sun, also for Game Boy Advance. Now, I think you can make a debate that maybe Mother 3 is a better game, but for me, Golden Sun, this is the RPG I spent the most time with on Game Boy Advance back in the day, so it does hold a special place in my heart. Yeah, this game is developed by the same creators of Shining Force, by the way. But I love playing Golden Sun now. It is a bit grindy to go back to after, like, I forgot how grindy this game was. It's fairly grindy, and you have to solve like a lot of puzzles, and there's random encounters, of course. So, yeah, it's definitely a game that will get you on your nerves after a while, because you're solving puzzles and also you're getting random encounters all the time. But that's how old school JRPGs are like. But yeah, I really love the story of this game. It really got me sucked in. The characters, especially since part of the party gets separated, and then you end up basically playing Golden Sun 1 and 2, because essentially it's the same story. It's just split across two games. So yeah, I consider Golden Sun 1 and 2 essentially the same game. It's just split across two games because the amount of content is so huge. But yeah, a great story, and combat system and characters are very memorable, and yeah, just overall really enjoyed this game. Yeah, like objectively wise, yeah, it's maybe not as good of a game as a lot of the other games I've listed below this, but this is again sentimental feeling, right? This is an RPG I spent a lot of time on back in the day, and I beat Golden Sun 1 and 2, so I definitely did put a lot of hours into this game. Alright, 46 is Star Ocean: The Second Story R. It is a remake of Star Ocean 2, originally for the PlayStation 1. This is personally my favorite Star Ocean game, and I'm really glad they remade it, because it looks amazing. I mean, just look at the graphics here. Graphics look amazing here. Yeah, Star Ocean 2. Oh man, they basically, Square Enix took their Octopath Traveler graphics and they kind of adapted it even more, and they really made this game look beautiful with those 2D sprites on the 3D background thing. And yeah, Star Ocean 2 I think is my favorite Star Ocean. Probably has the best story and characters. You play as this girl, Rina here. Yeah, if you guys haven't played Star Ocean 2, do check it out. It's one of my all-time favorite JRPGs. And what better way to play it than with the remake, because this remake is amazing in terms of the graphics, and yeah, they really should be making this. I mean, I hope that Square Enix uses this graphical engine for more games, but yeah, this is like a beautiful looking game the way they did it. I hope they do more remakes like this. So, anyways, all-time great JRPG. Love the sci-fi setting as well. Character, story, combat, everything. yeah, Star Ocean 2 is great. Alright, so number 45 is Pokemon Emerald. This is my favorite Pokemon game, by the way. I do love Gold and Silver and Crystal as well, but I think Ruby, Sapphire, and Emerald, this is like when Pokemon was really at its peak. When really, like, before, like, or maybe after Diamond and Pearl and Platinum, like, after that, all the Pokemon, I felt like they were running out of ideas, I felt like, because they had to milk the franchise. But I would say Gold, Silver, and maybe Ruby and Sapphire, this was the best generations of Pokemon, because this is when they were still had creative ideas and made some innovative Pokemon games. And really when Pokemon was at its peak, I think. So Emerald being kind of taking some of the best aspects of Ruby and Sapphire. And I did play this a lot back in the day on Game Boy Advance. So yeah, it's my favorite Pokemon game, and just like other Pokemon games, you know, you guys know what is going on. You capture Pokemon, you duel with them. It's an RPG, so of course you have a lot of missions and stuff you gotta do. So anyways, I played this to death back in the day. I beat this game. I beat Crystal and I beat Emerald. But I would say Emerald is probably my favorite, Crystal being pretty close to Emerald. Both of them are really good. Yeah. Alright, number 44 is Suikoden 2 for the PS1. Yeah, this game is considered to be one of the greatest and best RPGs of the era for PS1, and I think for good reason. It's based on the story of Water Margin, or Outlaws of the Marsh. It's an old Chinese novel, and yeah, what can I say? This game has everything. I didn't play this game until a little bit later because I didn't have a PS1, but this is definitely one of my favorite RPGs of this era. Yeah, not only for of course you have the retro style graphics and stuff, but the story, the whole Water Margin story, I can definitely relate to it, right? It's one of the 4 great Chinese classical novels. But yeah, the whole story and characters and combat, everything, it has kind of a unique combat system where you do have this turn-based combat, but then for larger scale battles you have a different kind of combat system. So, anyways, pretty cool. You can't go wrong with Suikoden 2. I mean, overall, like, it's hard to think of a more perfect. It's generally considered one of the best all-around RPGs on the system. So, for good reason, right? One of Konami's best as well. So yeah, Suikoden 2, I think it's a well-known RPG for the system, and yeah, definitely one of the best RPGs of the JRPG Golden Era. So anyways, Suikoden 2 has to make my list. It's just a great RPG. Right, so 43 is Steins Gate Zero. This is part of the Steins Gate series, which is a visual novel series dealing with sci-fi. So really into sci-fi stuff. Steins Gate was probably one of my favorite sci-fi visual novels. Steins Gate Zero is interesting because, yeah, it continues the story of Steins Gate, though it's even darker than Steins Gate is. Steins Gate kind of is like lighthearted for the first half, then turns dark in the second half, because of a twist that happens in the game. But Steins Gate Zero just starts off right away being kind of dark, and pretty much stays dark the entire way through. So yeah, it's a darker game than Steins Gate. It's also like one with more endings, and I think it's the more intriguing game for me. Like, not only like in the first game, right, you deal with like time travel and everything. The second game, in addition to that, you have AI as well. So you deal with time travel and you deal with AI. So you have a lot of sci-fi concepts in this game. And overall, just one of my favorite visual novels, right? It's a sci-fi visual novel, not too much gameplay, but as a sci-fi visual novel, yeah, definitely it's one of my favorite visual novels. So that's why I have Steins Gate Zero. I think this is my favorite game in the Steins Gate series. I played a lot of the spin-offs as well, Linear Bound of Phoenogram and Darling's Embrace. Yeah, I still like Steins Gate Zero the most. Alright, so 42 is Valhalla Cyberpunk Bartender Action. This is sort of a visual novel. I consider it a visual novel anyways because it's mostly reading text.
She's a robot.
But you're also a bartender, so you're like mixing drinks for people while talking to them, and it's in a cyberpunk setting. That's one of my favorite settings, right? But what's really cool about this game is, yeah, it's an indie game, it's a visual novel, but you do get to hear the stories of a lot of people. The characters are all very interesting and unique in this game when you talk to. They all have their own personalities, own backgrounds and stuff, and you're kind of like, you have more gameplay than you do with other visual novels because of the mixing drink stuff. But at the same time, you get to hear a lot about what's going on in this world. So it's just a very intriguing, it's a very intriguing universe. I would definitely love to see a sequel to this game, but unfortunately they haven't got a sequel done yet. which is too bad, but this is definitely one of my favorite visual novels, so yeah. And one of my favorite indie games, actually, Cyberpunk Bartender Action Valhalla. Played this for a long time back in the day when it first came out. I just, had to beat it because it was so interesting to me. Hearing all the characters' different stories. Of course, mixing drinks is just part of it, but hearing all the different characters, the soundtrack for this game as well. It's this kind of really ambient cyberpunk type of soundtrack by this indie musician called The Road. Highly recommend you guys check it out. Number 41 is Time Splitters Feature Perfect. Yeah, this is the first-person shooter, kind of a deathmatch first-person shooter that was released back in 2005. Yeah, I remember playing this a lot back with my friends back in the day, and it was a really fun game. I mean, it's just kind of a really... So Time Splitters is unfortunate because they don't make Time Splitters games anymore, and they've never been re-released. But the entire franchise, it's just kind of tongue-in-cheek. I love the weapons in this game. I love all the different characters that you can choose from. It's just one of my favorite deathmatch games. Yeah, you can choose between all these different characters with different funny quotes and everything. Yeah, it's just a wide amount of variety of characters that you can choose, and comedy in this game, like it really doesn't take itself seriously. Just ends up being one of my favorite deathmatch games. So, anyways, I know it's mostly like just about it's a deathmatch FPS, but hey, I love these kind of games, and I played a lot back in the day. So yeah, Time Splitters Future Perfect is on this list. Right, 40 is Space Quest 5, Roger Wilco and the Next Mutations, my favorite Space Quest game. Actually, it's one of my favorite Sierra games because I like Space Quest better than the King's Quest series, just because I like sci-fi more. And just like other Sierra games, it's very tongue-in-cheek, doesn't take itself seriously. A lot of funny things happen in this game. Yeah, it's a 1993 DOS game, but you can actually get it on GOG. Yeah, overall, yeah, I mean, there's a lot of humor in this game, just like with other Sierra games, but personally, I enjoyed the storyline of 5 the most. And yeah, although most of the Space Quest games I liked, but just number 5. Because the earlier ones are kind of text parsers, which I'm not too into the text parsing ones. This one's like just a full point and click. So, anyways, Space Quest 5, yeah, Roger Wilco, who really is a very humorous character. So, anyways, yeah, Space Quest 5. Definitely, if you guys like point-and-click adventures, especially sci-fi ones, do check it out. It's my favorite sci-fi point-and-click adventure, probably. Right, 39 is Snatcher, which was a 1995 Sega CD game. This is the Sega CD version is the only one that was ever released in North America in English. So that's unfortunate because Snatcher is a really good game. I wish I had a wider release. It's never been re-released, unfortunately, and I believe it is Hideo Kojima's first game. Yeah. And it's also where Metal Gear comes from, because this little robot here is called Metal Gear. But anyways, it's kind of like a point-and-click adventure. I don't know if it's like fully a point-and-click adventure though. It's more like just an adventure game. But yeah, like this is a pretty cool game. It's a cyberpunk game. There's a lot of like investigating stuff, and yeah, it's the whole storyline and characters and everything having like some humor in this game and everything. Yeah, this is unlike Kojima's like later games, because this is like he doesn't really go back to Snatcher again, but yeah, personally I really enjoyed this. I think this is definitely one of my favorite Kojima games. I think there's one more after this that I actually like a bit more, but Snatcher is really good. I just wish that it would be re-released at some point. Like, cause basically, yeah, it's a sci-fi cyberpunk adventure. There's comedy in this. Story very interesting. The characters are interesting. Gameplay. I love doing the investigations and stuff and finding out mysteries. So, anyways, definitely one of my favorite. I think for Sega CD for sure. This is definitely my favorite game from Sega CD. So, anyways, yeah, Snatcher, pretty good game. If you guys can pick it up, I think you'll probably have to emulate it because it's never been re-released, and Sega CD is really hard to come by, so probably you have to emulate it. But yeah, really, really good game. I wish Kojima would revisit this game or re-release it at some point. Okay, so you guys know I said there was one more Kojima game that I like more than Snatcher, and that's Policenauts at number 38. So Policenauts is, I think this is for sure a point-and-click adventure. It's also set in the future, and you're a hard-boiled detective in this one. So you do. It's kind of like Snatcher in a lot of ways, but also it's its own thing. It's a bit different. Yeah, I actually enjoy it a little bit more than Snatcher. So yeah, just the characters, the story, and everything, and the fact that yeah, they have more of these anime sequences and stuff.
Does American
Yeah,
Space Line
like this is from the mid-90s, you know. I love mid-90s anime. I mean, I love 1990s anime, and this really does capture that vibe. And yeah,
Wait, Touch.
It is more of a point and click
Touch.
for sure. I mean,
Touch.
yeah, Snatcher does not have these kind of point and
Nothing
click
touching.
elements in the game, but Police Knots does. And Police Knots was never released in the West. However, you can find translated versions online. So yeah, I do highly recommend playing
Wow, I
Police
can
Knots.
actually
It's my
touch
favorite
these.
Hideo Kojima game. It's got humor, it's got the characters, it's got the story.
Oh man, of
it's got
course.
the anime
Well, this is the
cutscenes,
uncensored Japanese
like, the whole
version, so I guess I'm
1990s
not too
type of.
surprised, but
I love 1990s
That's nice.
anime, so it's a whole 1990s kind of anime aesthetic. So, anyways, pick it up. Police Knots is a good game. I wish it would be released officially in English, but it hasn't been, unfortunately. And this is
I'll
a
let it
Saturn
go.
version, I believe. Yeah. Right, number 37 is Great Ace Attorney Chronicles, released for the Nintendo Switch in 2021. This is a remaster of the Nintendo 3DS game that originally was only in Japan. But what I love about this game is not only was it kind of my introduction to Ace Attorney stuff, but I really love the setting of this game, which is in Meiji era Japan and Victorian England, and they did a really good job on the translation. So they really captured the whole nuance of that time period, and at the same time they put a lot of humor into this game as well. And there's an investigative element in this game, and as well as this the whole court trial part of this game as well. And it's also a visual novel because there's so much reading. I consider this a visual novel actually, but it has investigative elements, and of course it has a court trial elements where you have to prove with evidence, right? So yeah, all in all, I love this game. I beat it because the story is really intriguing. There's a lot of conspiracy stuff going on in this game. There's a whole like twisting threads of different cases. So yeah, overall, yeah, there's a lot of suspense in this game, and the plot does twist with each other. The first game connects to the second game in the series. I love the setting of the game being in the early 1900s, and it really you really use some of the technology from that era as well. So, anyways, it's got everything: characters, humor, the setting. Yeah, overall, I really love this game. It's just fantastically done. One of the best translations ever, actually, that I've experienced from a Japanese video game. Alright, so number 36 is Open Laro X. And you might be wondering, what is this game? This is like not a well-known game, but basically it's an open source version of Laro, which was a 1990s DOS game that me and my brother used to play like all the time. So this is definitely a sentimental pick again, which is most of this list. Yeah, Laro is basically like this shooter game, kind of like Worms, but also not really like Worms because it's not turn-based. It's like real-time. But yeah, I played the original Laro I played a lot with my brother. I would basically, there's a huge modding community for it, so you could basically add a lot of your own maps, you add a lot of your own weapons and everything. You can basically change out everything in the game. That's what I did back then. Open Laro X being like an evolved form of Laro. I'm playing with my brother here, which is what we used to do. It's just insane. Like, the amount of crazy stuff that happens. Yeah, so I mean, obviously we're just having a lot of fun in this game because it's once you add in yeah, once you add in like all these crazy elements in this game, like you add in all the custom weapons and custom maps, and it just gets really insane and crazy. And that's what ends up happening in this game. Yeah, it just ends up being really fun. Because,
yeah, that's the red eye thing.
and I guess I'm playing as the Domo Fin. Is that right? Oh yeah, this is the classic Laro worm here.
Well, there's drops now too.
But I think me and my brother just love it when there's a lot of chaos going on.
Cataclysms and dogs.
Yeah, we just love it when there's chaos going on. Anyways, Open Laro X. I know it's not a famous game or anything, but it's a very fun game I used to play with my brother. So.
Really be fair, you know, because I'm.
But 35 is Gunbound. Gunbound is an online turn-based
so
strategy
the game
game
has these different weather effects that happen all the time. Like,
so like talking about maybe 2003, 2004, maybe 2005 as well. I was playing a lot of Gunbound.
If the wind is against
I think I was like a double
shot.
gold axe or something like that. But anyways, I used to play this game a lot. It's a turn-based strategy game. There was a lot of Asians playing this. I think a lot of
players on your
Filipinos
team is, you know, their name is in white. The ones on the opposing team are in red, so you try to destroy the ones.
Okay, but this is a pretty early recording I did.
Shot.
But I used to play Boomer a lot. That was my mobile. I mean, it started out with Mage, but I played a lot with Boomer. This is actually by a Korean company, I believe.
Three different kinds of shots.
Nexosoft or something. I don't know. I think this is by a Korean company, a Korean developer. But there used to be people really highly skilled in this game, and I mean, there were cheaters, of course, but there's also people who were very skilled in this game. And I was like, at one time, I was pretty skilled, but of course, I lost all that skill
later on. Super special shot is the most powerful.
And there'll be people pretending to be chicks.
Want to use those
like right here, I'm a chick because that's the lowest level.
It increases your delay.
There'll be people pretending to be chicks because they want to fool people and hustle them. But
so if you have a big delay,
yeah, I remember playing this quite a bit back in the day. Like I would just get home from school and just go straight to Gunbound.
Attack again.
It's pretty addictive.
Generally,
to having different mobiles
to make sure I'm accurate, I use shot 1 that has the least delay.
Different mobiles have different
and
weapons.
Then I use shot 2.
They have different attacks.
More power.
They're all affected differently by wind and stuff.
Oh, my partner died already? That's not good.
So yeah, it was a really addictive game for me to play back then. Anyways, I played it a lot.
So I would really consider that shot, and that one has
really,
a pretty
fun
big delay
addictive
as well.
Right, so 34 is Halo Infinite. I think this has actually become my favorite Halo game. I used to play a lot of Halo 2 and Halo 3 with my friends back in the day, and I really do think that Halo Infinite is a return to form. I think, yeah, Halo 5 didn't really get as more of a reception, but play a lot of Halo Infinite with my brother. So yeah, this one's really fun. It's a deathmatch, first-person shooter. In fact, the multiplayer is free. You pay for the campaign, but I've always played the multiplayer anyways. So yeah, it's a free-to-play multiplayer.
I feel like for games like this,
it's really fun to play. So anyways, if you guys like multiplayer deathmatch games, I think Halo is definitely one of the few that's still out there because Unreal Tournament's not there anymore. Quake is sort of there, but not really that popular. I don't think Quake Champions is that popular. But yeah, Halo Infinite, still very, very fun to play, whether it's against humans or bots. So yeah, me and my brother definitely ended up playing this a lot, and I do think it's a return to form for Halo. And I do think, sentimentally, sure, I have more memories with Halo 2 and Halo 3 back in the day playing with friends, but Halo Infinite, I think, is the better game. So it's, yeah, it's a return to form for Halo. So anyways, one of my favorite first-person shooters, and especially deathmatch games. Love the vehicles in Halo as well. Not quite as much as Unreal Tournament, but still, the vehicles in Halo are pretty good. Right, number 33 is Unreal Tournament 2004. It's actually my favorite Unreal Tournament game. Of course, I enjoyed the original Unreal Tournament. That was a great deathmatch game. Competed very well with Quake 3. And Unreal Tournament 3, I have played a bunch of that too, as well, with my friend. But I have the most fondest memories playing Unreal Tournament 2004 with my brother. So that's the one I'm choosing. This is one adds Onslaught mode, which adds vehicles to the mix. And personally, I enjoyed using Unreal Tournament vehicles more than Halo vehicles. Halo is probably the main competitor because it also had vehicles. And Quake Wars as well. Quake Wars kind of got forgotten. But yeah, Unreal Tournament 2004, oh man. I love this game. Going back to play the Manta.
Squash people.
Yeah, I love the Manta. I preferred it to the Ghost from Halo. Yeah, so you can squash people and stuff. There was the Redeemer weapon in this game, which is basically like a nuke. Oh yeah, squashed someone with the Manta there. Man, this game was fun. Onslaught mode was fun. You link up all the nodes and stuff, and it's unfortunate that Epic really stopped Unreal Tournament. They basically neglect all their other games except for Fortnite now, which is sad. They just focus on their engine and they focus on Fortnite. They neglect all their other games. Really sad. Because I really like Unreal Tournament and I wish they would bring it back. But anyways, Unreal Tournament 2004, definitely one of my favorites. My favorite Unreal Tournament game and one of my favorite first-person shooter games ever. So, has to make this list. Alright, so since we're on the topic of first-person shooters, number 32 is Duke Nukem 3D 25th Anniversary World Tour, which is probably the definitive way of playing this game now. This is pretty much a remaster of Duke Nukem 3D, and I love playing Duke Nukem 3D back in the day. Definitely one of my favorite first-person shooter games. Love the whole like Duke's personality, the interactivity with the environments, you know, just straight up killing aliens and rescuing babes. You know, who doesn't love that? So. Yeah, 3D World 20th Anniversary World Tour. The only thing is it doesn't include some of the expansions like the Megatonic pack does. So it doesn't include Duke It Out in DC or Life's a Beach. But other than that, I think this is pretty much a straight up upgrade of Duke Nukem, even with re-recorded lines by John St. John. So it's pretty good. Yeah, Duke Nukem 3D is a classic. One of my favorite all-time first-person shooter games. So I played this a lot back in the day. So yeah, I love Duke Nukem 3D. So this is probably a definitive way of playing it. 20th Anniversary World Tour came out in 2016. Also, you can't go wrong with Duke as a character, right? It's like time to kick ass and chew bubble gum, and I'm all out of gum, right? Oh man, it's some classic quotes back in the day. Alright, so number 31 is Planescape Torment Enhanced Edition. A remaster of Planescape Torment from 1999. One of my favorite isometric RPGs. Not so much combat in this game. It is Dungeons and Dragons, but not so much combat in this one. Is more narrative driven. But I do think that this game is a really it's a great game. It inspired a lot of other games too. So if you guys notice, there's Torment, Tides of Numenera, and Disco Elysium. That's because Planescape Torment inspired those games, and it really is kind of unique in its own way. The dialogue in this game, the story, the characters. Yeah, like I said, not too combat heavy, but certainly for the narrative and the dialogue in this game, that's what makes it unique. So certainly one of my favorite all-time isometric RPGs. So if you guys haven't checked out Planescape Torment, definitely do. I highly recommend it. I think it's out for all modern platforms now, the Enhanced Edition. So yeah, highly recommend to pick up if you like isometric RPGs and Dungeons and Dragons games, because there really isn't many games set in the Planescape campaign. So yeah, most Dungeons and Dragons games are set in Forgotten Realms campaign. So anyways, pretty cool game to pick up. One of my favorite Western RPGs too. So number 30 is Outer Wilds, not to be confused with Outer Worlds. Both of them came out the same year anyways, but yeah, they're pretty different games. Like it's an kind of open world, I guess you can consider it. Exploration. It's mostly an exploration adventure game, and it's really interesting. Like for me, when I played this game, I think a bunch of my coworkers talked about it, and I didn't realize like what was special about this game until I checked it out, and it was like, wow, this is like, okay, this game is like a time loop. Like you only have a certain amount of time to explore the universe before the sun goes supernova, but there's also a mystery in the universe you have to find by yourself, right? And you do that by piloting towards different planets and stuff and discovering what kind of mysteries are in the planet. And yeah, you have different loops, but every loop you discover something new. So there is some progress, and eventually you do find out the mysteries in this game. So you don't have a limited amount of time every time, but you do gain progress. And overall, this is like, for sure, it has the amount of the sense of mystery and adventure and exploration in this game is amazing. And really, I guess when I played like Dredge and when I played Subnautica, I also had kind of the sense as well. But man, Outer Worlds really has it all. I mean, in terms of just being able to visit all these different planets to see what mysteries hide within it, really, really fun. Yeah, I wish there was a VR version of this game. That would be really cool. But oh yeah, I don't have any Myst games in this list. Although I love Riven. Riven is a great game. But yeah, I would take Outer Worlds over any Myst game. Just all these houses are like personally, you know, I understand Myst and Riven, you know, those games, like they pioneered a lot of this exploration mystery stuff, but Outer Worlds is just wow, just play it, man. Okay, guys, if you like exploration, adventure, mystery games, just play Outer Wilds. Sorry, Outer Wilds. Yeah, just play Outer Wilds. It's a great game. What can I say? It's very, very unique, and man, I would love to be able to play through this again for the first time. I don't know what's going on. The first time experience is the best. Alright, so number 29 is Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth, which came out this year, 2024, and I think this is my favorite Yakuza game. I played a lot of Yakuza games. I played Yakuza 0, I played Yakuza Kiwami 1 and 2, Yakuza 4 was the one I first started out with, and it was really crazy because Yakuza 4 had this crazy storyline with like tons of betrayal, and I think this is actually how most Yakuza storylines go, but Yakuza 4 was my first experience with Yakuza, so that one is sentimentally is probably one of my favorites, but this is the better game, for sure. I played Yakuza 5 and 6 and Like a Dragon as well, so the only Yakuza I really haven't played is Yakuza 3, but yeah, Yakuza, this one is not really like titled Yakuza, but it's called Like a Dragon because the Like a Dragon name, I guess, was so successful for the previous entry. They just decided to name the regular series Like a Dragon instead. But Infinite Wealth kind of, it just improves on Like a Dragon in many ways. And Like a Dragon was already a good game. Like when that came out in 2020, I think, that was the first Yakuza game that was turn-based and became more like a JRPG essentially. Previously, Yakuza games weren't really a JRPG. They were kind of like more of an action-adventure, but it did have a lot of JRPG elements, and it had like semi-open world elements as well. But Like a Dragon in 2020 really turned it into like, yeah, expanded the world even more and gave it more JRPG elements. You can have party members and stuff, and it's turn-based combat. And yeah, it's really made the game more interesting because with the thing about Yakuza is I really do like the Japanese vibe of the games, the fact that you're in Japan and you know, you really get to experience a lot of Japanese culture in these games. You know, there's so many mini games. Going to the arcade or going to the baseball practice stadium where you can swing your baseball bat to practice, and you can do karaoke. You can go to like hostess clubs, stuff like that. That's all like very much in line with Japanese culture. So I really do love those kind of mini games and stuff, and being able to experience so much of Japanese culture. But the one thing I didn't like about Yakuza, even though the storyline was actually pretty crazy in Yakuza games as well, like I said, with the betrayal and everything, that usually happens in these Yakuza games. I think the main issue with Yakuza games was the main character, Kiryu Kazuma, is really kind of a... He doesn't have too much of a personality, that's the thing. He's always a very stoic type of person. So with Like a Dragon, brought in this new character called Ichiban, who is more of an interesting character than Kiryu is. He has more of a personality, basically. Kiryu really doesn't have too much of a personality. But then, yeah, you see Ichiban, and he's a more interesting character. And in Like a Dragon, you get to experience another area of Japan, which is basically Yokohama, and then you have the turn-based combat, which is good because one other downside of Yakuza games was I found the combat to be very repetitive. You always run into these gangs all the time, and whenever you fight the gangs, you basically had no choice but to fight them, and it was so repetitive to fight them all the time. But with Like a Dragon, they made it turn-based, so they made the combat more fun and interesting and exciting because now you can use different attacks and yeah, different party members and everything. So they made it more interesting by having the turn-based combat. And like a Dragon Infinite Wealth basically expands upon Like a Dragon. So oh my god, look, I'm like wielding a giant dildo vibrator thing, is that right? Oh yeah, that's pretty funny. But yeah, like Infinite Wealth expands upon Like a Dragon. The game is bigger. It includes Hawaii as well as Japan. So not only do you get to have the traditional area setting of Yokohama in Japan, which you had in the first Like a Dragon game, but now you get to be in Hawaii as well, which is a new setting for the Yakuza series. Previously, the Yakuza series never went outside of Japan. So it's really cool to be able to explore Hawaii as well. And yeah, they just kind of improved. Everything got a little bit polished and improved in every way. And which is kind of a feat because Like a Dragon was already a good game, and then Infinite Wealth just kind of improves upon everything and adds even more content and more mini games and stuff. So yeah, overall I think Infinite Wealth is my favorite Yakuza game so far. In fact, it is one of my longest gameplay videos on my channel. It's at over 5 hours of gameplay. Yeah, so you guys can clearly tell this game is yeah, this is one of the longest gameplay videos on my channel, 5 hours. So yeah, Infinite Wealth, you guys can tell how much I really love this game, right? It's definitely, if I were to pick like one game out of this year, 2024, I think, yeah, Infinite Wealth really is up there. It's maybe my favorite. I mean, there's a lot of good games that came out this year, but definitely one of my favorites for sure. So yeah, it has to make this list. I love Yakuza games, and Infinite Wealth, the latest one, is so far my favorite. Yeah, they reduced the repetitive combat by making it turn-based, and they expanded the content of Like a Dragon, which was already a good game, and you still get to have the traditional setting of Japan, but you also get the area of Hawaii as well, which is a huge area. And you can also have so many mini games, and you can also manage some islands in Hawaii, I believe, and some resorts as well. And Kiru is also in this game as well, so it's not like you're missing out on Kiru either. So it really does have everything. So anyways, Infinite Wealth is such a great game. Just one of my favorite JRPGs, and one of my favorite games in recent years, and certainly of this year. So yeah, has to make this list. Right, number 28, I'm going with Persona 3 Reload. This is a remake of Persona 3, which I played a lot of back in the day. And so this is another sentimental pick because I realized Persona 3 is not necessarily the best Persona game. A lot of people love Persona 5 and even Persona 4 Golden. I think those are both really good too. But from a personal standpoint, Persona 3 was the one that introduced me to the Persona series. This one is probably the most dungeon crawler out of all of them. So it is a bit grindy, but it still has the relationship aspect of it, the social aspect. So you get to choose what to do during the daytime. At night you go to Tartarus to fight the enemies, but also has really good soundtrack. I actually prefer the soundtrack of Persona 3 to Persona 5. And with Persona 4 it's kind of close. I like Persona 3 and 4 soundtrack better than 5. Although they're all really good, right? But yeah, I guess you'll find Persona 5 is the more polished game, but Persona 3 Reload, especially the Reload version, yeah, I think this is probably the best way to play Persona 3, for sure, because the graphics have all been really updated and stuff. It looks really nice. And you get the core classic Persona gameplay. You create your own personas, you use them in battle. I must say that the way that Persona 3 uses this evoker, which is kind of like this pistol where you shoot it at your head and the persona comes out. That's more badass than any persona summon in 4 and 5, okay? I just use the evoker. Yeah, that's a pretty cool part of Persona 3. So yeah, love Persona 3 music, soundtrack. The characters aren't quite as interesting as 4 and 5, but yeah, like sentimentally, this was my very first Persona game, and Reload really is the best way to play it now. So yeah, Persona 3 Reload, which just came out this year. Alright, so number 27 is Saints Row the 3rd Remastered. This is a remastered version of Saints Row 3, which is probably my favorite Saints Row game. I played Saints Row 3 a lot back in the day, back in 2011 when it first came out. Saints Row to me is more fun than Vice City, I would say, or San Andreas. Any of the GTA games, Saints Row I think is more fun. But yeah, it doesn't quite have the story of, it doesn't have the seriousness of the story or maybe the big budget of GTA, but certainly I think it's more fun to play. So you can customize your own character. That's something you can't do in GTA. And plus you can get like a lot of cool vehicles and extra stuff. Of course you can also like mod it and stuff, just like with GTA. But Saints Row actually comes stock with some futuristic vehicles. I remember like being able to have this like flying speeder in this game in Saints Row 3 that you couldn't really get in GTA. Well, not stock anyways. But yeah, a lot more of these crazy elements in Saints Row. Saints Row doesn't take itself seriously, and there's a lot of really crazy stuff going on, like Fast and Furious movies, basically. But to be able to play this in a video game, I mean, okay, yeah, look at this car. This is not a car you would find in GTA, for example, right? Like, it just wouldn't exist in GTA stock, right? I'm not talking about mods. Like, yeah, but it exists in Saints Row. So it's the kind of stuff that you get in Saints Row. So Saints Row 3, I think, is the best one, because Saints Row 2 is a little bit too much on the like the gang aspect. And while it's fine to have the gang aspect, Saints Row 3 takes it up to the next level. Saints Row 4 is a little bit too much in the superhero direction, like you get superpowers and stuff, and that was a little bit too much, I think. I think that was a little bit too much like Crackdown. But Saints Row 3 seems to be the best balance for me. So it's more interesting than Saints Row 2. At the same time, it's not overboard like Saints Row 4 is. So yeah, the remastered version probably is the best way to play this one now. Right, number 26 is Advance Wars 2 Reboot.
That wasn't an anti-air.
So this is a kind of remake of Advance Wars 1 and 2. That originally came out for Game Boy Advance, but this is probably the best way to play it now is through the remake. that you can get for Nintendo Switch. Just came out in 2023, and I played this a lot back in the day. I love tactical games, and Advance Wars 2 being one of my favorites. Yeah, it's just an expanded version of Advance Wars 1. I think 2 is the superior game. Yeah, you get more COs to control and everything. So yeah, like basically the point of this game is to well, defeat the enemy by capturing buildings and defeating their forces, and then your buildings can produce units. That's what kind of sets it apart from other strategy games like XCOM or Fire Emblem, for example, is the ability to produce units. So yeah, I played this a lot back in the day against the CPU, the GBA version, of course. But yeah, nowadays, pick up Advance Wars, you can just get the remake, which is called Reboot. So, anyways, yeah, it's cool to be able to play Advance Wars on modern consoles now. For a very long time, it was only available on Game Boy Advance. So, and DS. I think there was a DS version as well. Maybe? Yeah, I think there was a DS version, but I didn't play the DS version. But yeah, Advance Wars 2 is my favorite out of the series. Alright, so number 25 is Rise of Legends, the sequel to Rise of Nations. It's actually called Rise of Nations, Rise of Legends, but I just call it Rise of Legends. Yeah, not many people know about this game. They didn't even know that Rise of Nations had a sequel, and not only that, this game plays very differently than Rise of Nations. There's only 3 races. Rise of Nations, you get a lot more than that. But I think this game is trying to be more like StarCraft in having the 3 races. Unlike StarCraft, this game has some gameplay differences, the way that you build up your bases and stuff. So yeah, it's not really that well known. Unfortunately, they never re-released it. I don't know why. This is a Microsoft game, and unfortunately, Microsoft neglects a lot of the older games, like Freelancer, as well. But Rise of Legends, yeah, I wish I could get a re-release of this game. It's a really good RTS game, though. All 3 races are very distinct and very well balanced, just like in StarCraft. And it's got kind of unique gameplay mechanics, like you can subjugate buildings and stuff like that. But I really love playing this game back in the day. So yeah, Rise of Legends is going to be in my top 10. Just one of my favorite RTS games. I think more people should know about this game, more people should play this game. Highly recommend it. Yeah, especially if you're a strategy fan, I highly recommend this game. Yeah, basically you have one magical race, and then you have one clockwork make race, which I think it's called the Da Vinci, and then you have one alien race, which is the Codal. So yeah, all 3 races are pretty distinct, and then you have powers you can use at certain times as well. So man, I miss playing this game. It's a really good game, and I really wish they could re-release it, because it's really hard to get this game running, since it's not been released anywhere, unfortunately. RTS game. Right, number 24 is Yuno, A Girl Who Chanced Love at the Bound of This World. This is my favorite visual novel. It's time travel related and sci-fi related. That's one reason why I like it. Unlike Steins Gate, this has a little bit more gameplay. So first you can kind of examine people, like in this scene here. Yes, it's a little bit hentai because this used to be like an arrogant game. But yeah, you can examine people, which you can't really do in Steins Gate. And also you can use jewels to kind of time travel back to other paths that you took, and you need to be able to do that in order to collect all the jewels so that you can reach the epilogue, which is like kind of like another different part of the game. So yeah, this game has a lot of depth to it. You have to get the correct items in the correct sequence and use the correct jewels, and you get to the epilogue. And I actually played this game enough times that it was able to speedrun through it. So that tells you how much I love this game. Yeah, this is the characters are great. They all have their distinct, unique personalities and stuff. They all have some mystery behind them, and the time travel mechanic in it, everything's very interesting. Once you get to the epilogue, it becomes even more interesting, actually. The main point of this game is to search for your lost father, but once you get to the epilogue, I think you find out a lot more about what's going on. So, on the outside, when you start playing this game, you might think that the main character is just some pervert, but later on you'll find that yeah, there's a lot more to this game than just that. So anyways, it's a very, very cool visual novel, and this is a remake actually. It's not
you'll find out
the original release, I think, is from the early 90s. That was originally only in Japanese because it was released for the NEC PC 98. But I'm glad that they made this remake and it came to Western markets. So, because this is a great game, my favorite visual novel ever, so far. I mean, so yeah, it's just because of the combination of gameplay. I love the art style, the music, the gameplay. time traveling, having things like it has more gameplay than other visual novels because you have things to click on and you know you have the whole items to use and jewels and everything. Yeah, so anyways, great game. If you guys haven't picked it up, highly recommend. Right, number 23 is Leisure Suit Larry 6, Slip Up or Shape Out. This is my favorite Leisure Suit Larry game, as well as my favorite Sierra game, as well as my favorite point-and-click adventure game. So why is it so great? So Leisure Suit Larry is a series that's kind of focused on sexual humor, I would say. I actually do like this stuff. I know you know, like being an Asian, a lot of people are conservative about this kind of stuff, but there's so much humor in this game, and not just sexual humor, but just like overall humor. And I love how this game doesn't take itself seriously, and compared to the older Leisure Suit Larry games, 6 and 7 I find are probably the right balance, because I feel like the really old ones, like with the text parsers and stuff, it's really hard to go back to. So with this one, I just felt like it's 1993, right? So this one I felt like it's just at the right point where I can do the point and click, and it's still like, it still doesn't age, you know, that much, so I can still play it. I don't want to go back to text parsers because that's like too old for me. But this is at the right point where I can still play it, and there's still a lot of humor in this game. Very, very funny. And I play this when I want to enjoy myself because it's such a funny game and just lightens me up. So, yeah, in this game, the whole way through, it never takes itself seriously. And a lot of elements in this game that you wouldn't see on games nowadays. That was okay back in 1993. This is like 30 years ago, right? That's crazy. It's 30 years ago. More than 30 years ago. But yeah, this game, I mean, when I go back to play it, it just takes me back in time to the early 90s. So I love that game for that, for making me time travel like that. I mean, so much of this game is like, you can tell it's like early 90s humor. So I love it.
That's the women's shower. You can't go. That's the women's shower. You can't go in there.
Sure you can.
The narrator's so funny in this game too.
Larry, that's the women's shower. You can't go in there.
Alright, so 22 is Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic 2, The Sith Lords. This is a RPG I played a lot back in the day on the original Xbox. This is the PC version I'm playing here. Probably my favorite Star Wars game. Yeah, I think it's the highest rated Star Wars game on this list for me. Because, yeah, this is such a good RPG, and not just for Star Wars, but in general, this is one of my favorite RPGs and Western RPGs. And it's even better because it's set in the Star Wars universe, and they do a really good job with it. It was Obsidian that actually developed this. Bioware developed the original one. And I know a lot of people love the original Knights of the Old Republic, but I play number 2 more, so I'm more familiar with number 2, so sentimentally number 2 is the one that I'm picking here. Yeah, just overall it's got a great story. Great characters, and it really makes you feel immersed in the Star Wars universe, which is what RPG really is. So all in all, yeah, one of my favorite all-time RPGs, especially Western RPGs. Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic 2. I wish this would get a remaster. That would be good. So 21 is Borderlands 2. This is a game I played a lot with my friend back in the day, and it's a really fun game. It's my favorite game of the Borderlands series.
I had to put a dildo.
I think Tiny Tina's Wonderlands comes close, but Borderlands 2 is probably my favorite still, especially Handsome Jack. He's just such a memorable villain, and yeah, just play this a lot back in the day. Co-op campaign here. It's kind of just like a first-person RPG in a sense. It's like a loot shooter, I guess is what they call it. Very addictive to play. It's almost like playing a first-person version of Diablo. So, I guess, yeah, just consider it that. First-person version of Diablo with everything cel-shaded. So, anyways, very, very fun game to play with friends. I'm not sure if I would play a lot by myself, but certainly with friends, it's very fun, just like with Diablo.
Coming up.
Speaking of Diablo, number 20 is going to be Diablo 2 Resurrected. A remake of Diablo 2, which is considered by many to be the best Diablo. So I'm playing with my friends here. Of course, this is another great game to play co-op. It's being an action RPG, and I think Diablo 2 hits the right point for many people. It's got the right amount of atmosphere, narrative, storyline. Although I never thought the story in Diablo was that great. Anyways, it's mostly about it's mostly about the gameplay. The fun of playing with friends, and yeah, the fun of playing with friends and grinding and everything.
I think every time you teleport,
being able to play on higher difficulty levels together, I think that's the enjoyment of playing Diablo. Diablo 3 and Diablo 4, to me, they're also good. I mean, I can also play those with friends and have fun. But this being a remake of the most beloved Diablo game, yeah, I'm going to put Diablo 2 Resurrected above those. So yeah, that's my pick. Diablo 2 Resurrected.
Just tell me when you're ready.
Probably the best way to play Diablo 2 now. And very, very fun to play with friends. Alright, so number 19 is Rock Band 4. So technically I played Rock Band 3 I think the most, but Rock Band 4 is still like pretty good. And yeah, I mean, the thing is, when I was in university, I used to play Rock Band 2, Rock Band 3 with my university classmates a lot. And although Rock Band 4 came out a bit later, I feel like Rock Band and Guitar Hero, right? These games really captured a special time when rhythm games were really popular, and unfortunately, we just don't see that much anymore, right? The thing is, too many Guitar Hero and Rock Band games came out at the same time, late 2000s, early 2010s. Around that time, I think mid to late 2000s is when it really was. Yeah, everyone was playing Guitar Hero and Rock Band back then, and yeah, we're kind of missing that now, right? And really, it was very fun to play with friends and stuff back then. So I do have to put Rock Band on my list. Now, this might not be the one that I played the most back then. I think Rock Band 3, and I think Rock Band Beatles as well. I think those were the two I played with the most back then. But anyways, Rock Band 4 is the latest version still, I think, like not counting the VR version. And still had a lot of fun playing this with friends too. Right? It's just too bad they don't really make too many of these rhythm games anymore. It's like people just saw it as a fad, and it's unfortunate because, yeah, they were really fun to play. Like, you get a bunch of people over, have a party, and then, yeah, you play Rock Band together with your friends, like one person singing, right, doing some karaoke stuff, and other people like playing like guitar, and then they gotta even have drums, right? So it was like a special time. It's unfortunate that we don't see too many of these games anymore, but it's a special time where you can just invite your friends over, and you can all get a bunch of instruments and start playing together some nice songs, right? I remember I even had a lot of downloaded song tracks as well. But yeah, I think my favorites were Rock Band Beatles and Rock Band 3. Yeah, but Rock Band 4 is definitely pretty good as well. I mean, it was like the last real Rock Band game, I would say. So definitely still holds some sentimental value for me. So definitely have to have it on my list just for capturing a special moment in my life when I was in university, and played with a lot with my classmates. Just Rock Band, and just having house parties as well. Whenever I had house parties, invite some of my friends over, right? We play Rock Band or Guitar Hero together. Really good times. Yeah, it's just too bad we don't make those kind of games anymore, unfortunately. Number 18 is Deus Ex Human Revolution. This is my favorite Deus Ex game. Also one of my favorite Western RPGs. This being in the cyberpunk environment, and yes, I do prefer it to Cyberpunk 2077. Maybe because I've had more time and more experience with Deus Ex Human Revolution. But yeah, I don't know why with Mankind Divided, they kind of dropped the ball a little bit. It wasn't quite as interesting. But Human Revolution, especially with the city of Shanghai in the future, and they're all speaking pretty good Chinese here in this game as well. Really immersive, actually. Very, very immersive. And Deus Ex, of course, it's a first-person shooter, but it doesn't have to be, because you can decide to make... you can decide to go stealth as well, and you can do some hacking in this game. Also, the hacking minigame is pretty decent. I play a lot of hacking minigames, but Human Revolution is one of the best ones. So yeah, I love playing Human Revolution.
They even went to the trouble of having like a foreigner guy try to speak Chinese.
Yes, this game even had a foreigner guy, actor, try to speak Chinese in this game to make him look like a foreigner in this game. In China, futuristic China. I mean, that's crazy, right? Like,
can kill like so many people. Hey guys, how's the franchise?
Man. I know definitely. I think there's this game. I definitely wouldn't mind going back to it. I think I beat this game a long time ago. But yeah, this game was my favorite cyberpunk game for a very long time.
I noticed all the girls dress the same.
Yeah, especially having futuristic Shanghai. I mean, that's one of the best settings ever. I want to have another game set in futuristic Shanghai. That'd be good.
I like how he's like bobbing his head to the music.
But yeah, Human Revolution is great. One of my favorite sci-fi games and one of my favorite Western RPGs.
Mr. Tong's permission, huh? That's my permission.
And number 17 is Disgaea 5 Complete for the Nintendo Switch. I played this game so much back in the day. I know this was released 2017. I think I played this game all during 2018. Yeah, this was a very good tactical JRPG. So I wasn't too into Disgaea series actually until Disgaea 5, and I still think it's my favorite Disgaea. I mean, Disgaea 6 wasn't as good, and Disgaea 7 is better, but Disgaea 5 is still my favorite. The characters are the best in this one. They're the most interesting and charming. Doesn't have too much of a, like, the story is not, like, it doesn't take itself seriously, because the whole Disgaea series is, like, kind of tongue-in-cheek. It's, yeah, it's not really a serious type of, you know, the characters are not very serious, but, you know, I just love playing this this game because it has so much depth to it. So the characters are the best in Disgaea 5, but Disgaea has so much depth because you can really go into the end game and you still have so much to do. I mean, you can do like thousands of damage basically in this game. Once you go to the end game, you can be like level 9,999. You can do like millions of damage and stuff. There's really, like, you can do so much in the end game. So this game has so much replayability and so much depth. I know there's a lot of grinding in this game, but yeah, there really is a lot of depth to this game, and you can really play Disgaea 5 for like hundreds of hours if you wanted to. So anyways, really, really great tactical RPG. Definitely has to be on this list. Pretty high. Right, so 16 is Final Fantasy Tactics Advance. This is a game I played a lot of back in the day as well. And yes, I picked this over Final Fantasy Tactics, the original one, because I played Tactics Advance more. That's just my personal choice. I really love the story in this game. Love the gameplay. Like, you can select different jobs for each character, and you can, like, basically just create your own team full of characters you can level up and stuff. So it definitely has the depth, and it also has the story, and the characters are surprisingly deep as well. So they all have their own motivations and stuff, and yeah, basically as you progress through this game, you'll learn more about them. Yeah, this was probably one of the GBA games I played the most, along with Advance Wars 2 and Fire Emblem Sacred Stones and Golden Sun. Yeah, this is probably one of the great Game Boy Advance games I played the most, and yeah, certainly it is one of my favorite tactical RPG games. So yeah, Final Fantasy Tactics Advance. Yeah, gotta have it on this list. Right, number 15 is Super Mario RPG Remake. So Super Mario RPG is a game originally for the Super Nintendo, and I played it a lot back in the day. I almost beat it. I just got it to one part where I got stuck, and I could never get past that part for some reason, even though I looked on GameFAQs. But yeah, I played a Super Mario RPG a lot, and it was one of my favorite RPGs ever. And the remake version is really the best way to play it now, since it just came out last year. So yeah, it's an all-time great RPG and JRPG. I think what it does well is it really blends the Super Mario universe well with kind of the Square type gameplay. Right, Squaresoft did part of this as well, and I'm really glad they did a remake of this game, because for the longest time, like, you couldn't really it wasn't really re-released for the longest time, but now you have a remake version. So, and they really haven't made a sequel to this game. They've made Paper Mario. That's not really a real sequel, though. They haven't really made a real sequel to this game. But yeah, the original game is very, very fun to play. It's not like a typically challenging game, but it's got a lot of humor. Of course, it's got the Mario characters and some new characters. So the characters are all very fun and charming, and add that to the humor and the Mario type of setting, then you have yourself a winner. Yeah, Super Mario RPG Remake. Great game. Definitely pick it up if you guys like RPGs and you haven't tried it yet. A pretty unique combat system too. It's turn-based, but it also has kind of a timing attack on it. Oh yeah, and the soundtrack. I love the soundtrack of Super Mario RPG as well. One of my favorite RPG soundtracks. Our number 14 is Fire Emblem Awakening. This is probably my favorite Fire Emblem game. I mean, Sacred Stones comes really close. I really love Sacred Stones as well. Plus, like, the GBA has those awesome critical attack animations. But Fire Emblem Awakening, man, I played this a lot back in the day. Really got me back into Fire Emblem. I've been missing a lot of Fire Emblem games since then because they were on home consoles. But yeah, Fire Emblem Awakening is great. I still think it's my favorite. I mean, I played Three Houses. I played, obviously, Fates is the one after this. I played Fates. Fates isn't the same exactly. The characters aren't quite as memorable in Fates. Three Houses, I don't really like how they added the Persona aspect in there. It's not really that Fire Emblem for me. Engage is also pretty good. It brings it back to the old school Fire Emblem concept, but it's still not Awakening. Awakening has the best characters and the best story, in my opinion. But yeah, the only thing being that it has this 3D type of attack, which isn't as interesting as the 2D animations. But that's really it. Otherwise, I really love the characters and the story in this one. So yeah, Fire Emblem Awakening for 3DS. It's my favorite Fire Emblem game and also one of my favorite tactical RPGs. Right, 13 is going to be BioShock Infinite. So this is the first-person shooter and part of the BioShock series. It's the last game in the BioShock series, actually.
Kinetoscope, cameras,
and I like this one the best.
All adds to the nice
I know the
feeling
original
atmosphere.
BioShock game was more innovative, probably. But yeah, I like this one the best. This one's set in the sky, not in the water. And it also contains a lot of the period-correct elements, I guess, of the early 1910s. So yeah, it's got that aesthetic. But I think the thing that makes Bio Infinite stand out is Elizabeth. So Elizabeth is that girl running around. She really does help you out a lot in this game, much more than most other NPCs in other games. So I find the aspect of Elizabeth really cool. The fact that she actually does something more than other NPCs do. And of course you have the first-person combat and the kind of pseudo-RPG elements to it as well. So all in all, in the beautiful setting as well, this being kind of like a futuristic retro game, kind of, because it's 1900. It's like 1910s, but it's also kind of futuristic because they have this thing set in the sky with steampunk type of vibes to it. So yeah, it's got steampunk vibes, and yeah, it's the combat is pretty good, and they have Elizabeth, which I think is a pretty cool NPC, and yeah, the graphics and setting and everything. So all in all, really love BioShock Infinite. Definitely one of my favorite first-person shooters. I really wish they would make a sequel, but yeah, it doesn't look like that will happen. Right, number 12 is Ragnarok Online. This is an MMORPG that I played back in the day. 2004, 2005. Really sucked up a lot of my time. I think those full 2 years I was playing Ragnarok Online, and I was making friends online actually during that time. Because I'm like an introvert at heart, so I don't really like to go outside to meet people, so I just stay indoors, and yeah, back then basically I would just come home from school, from classes, and I would just play Ragnarok Online all day, and meet up with some of my online friends. I think at one time, I was playing on this private server, so I wasn't paying any money, but this private server, I eventually played it enough that I ended up being the sub-GM of the private server, and that was really fun because I could jail people if I want for no reason, and just fool around with people. But yeah, I made a lot of friends back in Ragnarok Online back in the day. It was a really interesting time for me. Very addictive game because MMORPGs can be pretty addictive. So yeah, I decided not to play any more MMORPGs after that because I just ended up spending way too much time online. But it does hold a special place in my heart because I did play this for a long time. And yeah, it's just something. Just looking at now, the music in this game is very nostalgic to me. Yeah, the graphics are nostalgic. I mean, it's basically the pixelated foreground sprite with the 3D background. That's what a lot of indie games do now too. But yeah, man, I remember just spending so much time in this game with my online friends and just hanging out, talking. I would just go to level 255, I think was the maximum. So you guys can tell how much I leveled up in this game. Man, I played so much of this game back in the day. So anyways, it's a good blast from the past for me, but Ragnarok Online has to make this list because I've spent so much time on this game. Yeah, it's really addictive. Right, number 11 is Grand Theft Auto Vice City.
Shit.
Vice City is a game that I played a lot back in the day too when it first came out, and probably my favorite GTA sentimentally because this is the one that I played a lot back in high school with my friends. Yeah, even though it wasn't like multiplayer, but I do remember watching my friend play, and he would actually stay up all night playing this game. And actually playing this on PC, and I modded it a lot. So I do have good memories on this game. I also love the soundtrack of this game, all the 80s soundtrack. It got me into a lot of 80s bands. So, and I remember modding the cars and everything as well, so I had a really fun time playing this game. So I had more memories with this game than with San Andreas and GTA 4 and even GTA GTA 5. So I do have to say Vice City sentimentally is my favorite GTA. I spent the most time in this game. I remember my friend playing it, literally pulling all-nighters playing it. We would just get some pizza, buy some Delissio, DiGiorno pizza, and we were playing Vice City all night. Had some good memories there. So, sentimentally, yeah, GTA Vice City. Love this game from back in the day. Nowadays, I think I can still play it, but it's just not as not quite as fun as it was back then. I think now I'll probably play GTA 5 more. But Vice City, I think they're coming out with GTA 6 will probably be set in Vice City. But yeah, anyways, I play this game a lot. Alright, now we get into the top 10, and for my number 10 is Sleeping Dogs, and I always felt like this game deserved more love. This is one of my favorite all-time open world games, and yes, I rank it higher than the GTA Vice City. I played this game so much back in the day. What I love about it, the main protagonist is this badass Asian dude, Wei Shen, and he knows Kung Fu and he knows parkour. And he even picks up a white chick in this game. So, I mean, this guy's badass, right? And he's also a double agent, so he's both a triad. He actually tries to sneak into the triads in Hong Kong, and he's also a police officer as well. And you also have mini games like this, right? The karaoke mini games, which is pretty cool as well. That's something you do in Yakuza as well. Except unlike Yakuza, this is actually a full open world game. So, yeah, man, I really wish they made a sequel to this game, but they didn't. So unfortunately, Sleeping Dogs is a one-off, but it's a really good one-off.
It's closed.
Yeah.
Why is it closed?
The public is only allowed in on the weekends.
Oh, this sucks. I wanted some pictures for my blog.
Let me see what I can do.
Yeah, but Wei Shen is so badass, man. I love Wei Shen. So Sleeping Dogs, probably one of my favorite open world games. It is amazing. Just being able to see that recreation of Hong Kong and playing as a badass Asian dude. I mean, what else is there to ask for? There's not many games I set in open world Asia, and this being one of them, one of the few. So it was done really well. Alright, so at number 9 I have Magic the Gathering Online, which I have played probably hundreds of hours on. Yeah, I mean, I love Magic the Gathering. This is a game that really, it's like the first trading card game I played. Right, this was back when I was in, I think, grade 8 in 2002 when I was first introduced to Magic the Gathering. And then I continued playing it mostly in high school. I played a lot of Magic the Gathering in high school. That's where I think I did most of my playing, of the physical cards at least. Then I think in university I didn't really play that much because I was mostly studying and stuff, right? Didn't have anyone to play with. I think after I got my first job, I think I started going to some meetups and playing Magic, but really not too often. Like physical card-wise, I think that did the most when I was in high school because I just had other my friends to play with at the time. Now, I still love Magic the Gathering, so it was hard to find people like in real life to play with, so that's why I got into Magic the Gathering Online when I was in university. Probably around, I want to say like 2009? Maybe 2008 or 2009 I got into it because, you know, I'm a big Magic the Gathering fan and I didn't have anyone to play with in real life, so, you know, it's just easy to play with people online, find someone to play with. So yeah, I think it was like either 2008 or 2009 I got into Magic the Gathering Online and spent probably thousands of dollars on digital cards, which I would later do with another game, Hearthstone, as well, which is later on this list. Yeah, Magic the Gathering Online and Hearthstone, I probably spent thousands of dollars on these two digital card games. But yeah, Magic the Gathering Online, I still play it from time to time, although I played it probably the most when I was in university. Yeah, because at that time I didn't have anyone to play with in real life, so I just played all my Magic online, basically, so with other people online. So yeah, that's probably when I played this the most. Probably like 2009 to 2011, 2012, I think I played this the most. I mean, I played it sporadically from then on. Like, I just played this recently. I uploaded this video recently. And I still play Magic the Gathering Online. I mean, I know there's other Magic the Gathering games a lot, right? MTG Arena is probably the most recent one. But I know that those games are better for like the more modern Hearthstone style, right? I mean, modern digital card games try to all copy Hearthstone because like that's it's just more it's just easier to play, right? Whereas Magic has so many rules, and Magic the Gathering Online is I know it's not as easy to play as a game like Hearthstone, but hey, you know what? Magic the Gathering Online still has pretty much all the cards you can get in real life, unlike any other Magic the Gathering game. So if you play MTG Arena or all these other games, they don't actually have all the cards available. But Magic the Gathering Online is the only Magic the Gathering game, the only MTG game that has like pretty much every card you can get in real life, which is like, you know, over 10,000 cards you can get. So this is still the most complete game, even if the interface looks pretty dated. It's still the most complete game, right? And yeah, and therefore, even though this game is clunky to play, the interface is quite clunky to play, it's still the most complete version. So that's why I still end up playing Magic the Gathering Online over the newer Magic the Gathering games, because it has every card available. So anyways, because it has every card available, you can just create all your decks and stuff that you have in real life with it. So anyways, that's a big draw of MTG Online. That's why people still play it. It's still the most complete Magic the Gathering game.
I want to know, like, if
and the most complete Magic the Gathering experience. So yeah, just a clunky interface, I know, and crashes a lot actually as well. I've had quite a few games crash on me. So it's not very stable, but yeah, it's still the only MTG game that has all the cards available to you, right? So yeah, anyways, it's still played. Still very addictive to me.
These guys.
And yeah, I have a lot of good memories playing MTG Online, and yeah, seeing all the crazy combos and crazy multiplayer games I've done online. It's yeah, I had good memories here. Alright, so number 8 is Fallout New Vegas, one of my all-time favorite Western RPGs, and my favorite in the Fallout series. Of course, I played Fallout. I played Fallout 2, Fallout 3, and Fallout 4 as well. But New Vegas is still my favorite. It's just got the right balance of RPG mechanics with the 3D first-person shooter type of interface, right?
Oh my
that
god!
Fallout 3
Look
had.
at the slaughter.
Basically, it took Fallout 3 and just improved upon it in every way.
Terrible.
Now Fallout 4 is kind of a regression, and I see it as kind of a regression because it doesn't have the same RPG mechanics and dialogue options like Fallout New Vegas does. So yeah, I see Fallout 4 as kind of a regression from the RPG mechanics. It's just more of a first-person shooter with some RPG mechanics. But Fallout New Vegas is an RPG with some first-person shooter mechanics essentially. So it's different. Anyways, I guess I'm not alone in thinking that. A lot of people really love New Vegas as well, and there's like good modding community out there for
people die.
But yeah, I really love Fallout New Vegas. It's one of my favorite all-time RPGs. I love the post-apocalyptic setting and the amount of stuff that you can do in this game. Yeah, it's really impressive. So I love this game.
I really have more important things to do. Sorry.
And some of the dialogue options as well. I mean, it's just pretty funny in this game, the way they wrote some of the options. So really congrats to Obsidian for doing such a good job with this one. And they didn't even have much time to develop this one either, so which makes it even more impressive. Alright, number 7 is Hearthstone. This is a digital card game by Blizzard, and this really sucked me in for a very long time. I mean, you guys can see so many Hearthstone videos on my YouTube channel because I play this game a lot. Yeah, this is I spent, I don't know how much money on Hearthstone cards, but I spent a lot of money on Hearthstone cards, and it's because I love card games so much. I love Magic the Gathering, so it probably comes from that. Yeah, and I think compared to Magic Online, Magic Online didn't quite make this list because, well, honestly, Hearthstone is the better game for online play. I love Magic the Gathering for offline play, but for online play, yeah, Hearthstone being a digital card game is really good at this. It does stuff that obviously you can't do in a physical card game, and really kind of started a trend for digital card games. You see a lot of digital card games come out after Hearthstone because it was so successful, and Magic tried to do the same thing with MTG Arena now, but it's not the same. Magic just doesn't translate as well into the digital space. Hearthstone was just made for it. So anyways, Hearthstone, I don't play it much anymore these days, but for a while there, back in 2015 to 2017, I played Hearthstone a lot. So definitely one of my most played games. So anyways, that's why it has to be in my top 10. In terms of playtime, this game has gotten a lot of playtime for me. Alright, so number 6 is Far Cry 5. This is surprisingly high, right? Some of you might think, but it's because I played this game so much with my friends. Far Cry 4 actually I played the most
of. It's like Ronin.
Far Cry 4 I played the most of, but I think Far Cry 5 is the better game. It has more vehicles. It has the same kind of arcade maps that 4 has. But yeah, it's just expanded. More weapons, more vehicles,
art form to
and
hit him
everything.
without killing
And
him.
I played Far Cry 5 a lot with my friends. Even these days, it's just so fun to play arcade with my friends.
Oh, the infected one.
And even the campaign, you can play co-op. It's a totally open world and everything. Just a variety of weapons and vehicles that you can get in this game is amazing. And I think the only thing that 4 has over it is the ability to ride an elephant. Other than that, yeah, 5 is just better. And unfortunately, 6
really
isn't as good. Far Cry 6 kind of took a step backwards because it removed the arcade mode.
Disappointed.
And just wasn't as interesting. Like the main villain in 6 wasn't as interesting as in 5. Joseph Seed is a more interesting villain.
Well, it said you gotta mix
But
up
yeah,
grown and
5
noise.
to me is the best Far Cry game. I know a lot of people like 3, but I like Far Cry 5 the most. I think it just it has everything.
Oh yeah, Bazooka the shit.
And yeah, I played countless hours of Far Cry 5 with my friends, and as well as 4. 4 and 5 I played the most of with my friends. Just countless hours.
Oh my god.
Alright, number 5 is GoldenEye 007, and this is actually pretty high, some of you might think, but that's because GoldenEye 007, I played this so much with my friends back in the day in elementary school. Like, I'm talking elementary school, so basically after class, I had a friend that had an N64, and basically after class, we would just play GoldenEye 007 every day. It was crazy, just multiplayer GoldenEye 007, almost every day. So I have a lot of good childhood memories playing this game, and it's, yeah, it really is a throwback. I mean, man. You have to remember back in 1997 when this came out, there wasn't that many good FPS games for the console, and plus the ability to have a pretty good storyline with this game as well. Like, not many first-person shooter games in 1997 even had a story. So this one has a story with it, the ability to shoot at certain parts of the body, right? And then of course the great multiplayer matches with all the different weapons and stuff. That was amazing. So I ended up playing GoldenEye 007 quite a bit back in the day. So nowadays, probably it's aged quite a bit, but still, going back to this game is just pure nostalgia for me. So anyways, I still gotta have this in my top 10 for sure. GoldenEye 007, man, what a game. One of my favorite first-person shooter games back in the day. Certainly it was a lot for the console. I think this is the one that almost everyone played back then. Right, so number 4 is Elden Ring. Elden Ring is, to me, yeah, one of the greatest JRPGs or RPGs ever. It's amazing. The way that they made this open world.
I'm sure people have figured it out.
Yeah, the amount of stuff that they put in this game is incredible.
They were doing like huge.
And I played a lot of this with my brother, like in this video.
Yeah, I feel like there's a weapon that,
just the amount of stuff that FromSoft in this game is amazing, right? Just no matter where you go, there's always something. Like, even this DLC package here, they put so much into this game, and no matter where you go, like, it's not like an empty swath of land or anything like in GTA or Red Dead Redemption. You actually have stuff there. So I think it also is amazing because this game is hard, it's challenging, but it also makes you get better. And it's not like it's discouraging or anything. It makes you want to get better. So the fact that it makes you want to explore and everything, and graphics and the art style, the setting of this game being kind of, I'm not as into fantasies and sci-fi, but even then, I love the artistic direction of this game. It's just so beautiful. And the whole world and everything is amazing. The way that you can explore in this game, kind of like Breath of the Wild, but they took it further. So definitely Elden Ring is one of my favorite all-time games, and certainly for RPGs, one of my favorite all-top RPGs. You play with a friend, like with my brother, and gets even more awesome, actually. And the boss battles are just amazing, fantastic. So anyways, Elden Ring, just an all-time game for me. Gotta be in my top 5. Okay, number 3 might be a surprise to some of you. It's Sims 3. I actually played Sims 3 quite a bit, and it's probably my favorite Sims game. Sims 4, I felt like, yeah, I played a lot of Sims 4 too, but it just feels like they keep milking it, and they're still missing a lot of features that Sims 3 had. So, yeah, and I played Sims 2 a lot as well, but Sims 3 is probably my favorite. I felt like they did the most with this one. They have the most features in this one as well. And I usually just recreate my friends in this one and just kind of live it up, like having like a virtual dollhouse and just live up with my friends. It's pretty cool actually, being able to recreate my place, recreate my friend's place, and then have them do whatever they want, and just to see things play out. I mean, I spend hours just creating stuff, creating houses, creating apartments, and then creating characters, and then having my friends kind of interact with each other and interact with me. Yeah, it's man, I spent a lot of time on Sims 3. So yeah, this time I recreated my friend.
I can actually have 3 me's in the
I
same
recreated
place.
me, and I just want to see like our lives work together virtually. It's really fun actually.
I think he's going to sleep,
So
maybe.
a bit of an unexpected pick, but yeah,
proceeding.
Sims 3 is in my top 3. It's definitely
What
one of the
if I
games I
have
played the
3 me's
most,
in the
and
same place?
yeah, I
So
really
this is,
wish that
2 of me right
someone
there.
would compete with EA and
What
make
if I
like a
can
competitor
get
to
the other
Sims,
me
because
here?
Sims 4, I mean, it's been going on for a while, and they haven't made Sims 5 anytime soon. I don't think they're going to make Sims 5 anytime soon, so there really needs to be a competitor to Sims, because I really do love the style of game. There just isn't too many, like there isn't too many competitors to Sims. That's the thing. It's just really kind of unique. But yeah, Sims 3 I think is the best of the series.
Go to the other place.
Alright, number 2 is Chrono Trigger. Probably my pick for my favorite RPG ever. I know it's very close with Elden Ring, but they're very different games. Chrono Trigger, kind of more sentimental thing. Objectively, you can say that Elden Ring has more content, but Chrono Trigger is, man, I just have so many good memories of this game. Playing it, like on emulator, of course. I didn't have a SNES back in the day, but it's not like it particularly difficult, but I really love the characters, the story, the music, the time travel mechanic. Everything in this game is to me, is a masterpiece, and I think a lot of people agree it is a masterpiece. So
Maybe.
yeah, definitely my pick for my favorite RPG and JRPG. Definitely one of the standouts of the Super Nintendo library, and one of the standouts of the 16-bit era. So just everything is perfection. I can't think of anything even this game can fail at. It's got everything, right? It's got the character design, the character backgrounds. They all makes you care about the characters a lot, and the story is intriguing. The music is legendary. Love the OST to this game, and the gameplay is kind of a mix between active and turn-based combat. And the time travel mechanic, and there's a lot of secrets in this game too. So multiple endings. I mean, man, Chrono Trigger is just the GOAT of RPGs, I think. But it's pretty close with Elden Ring now. I would say it's just so different, Elden Ring and Chrono Trigger. But both of them are going to be pretty much my picks for the best RPGs.
So too, but
Alright, so my number 1 favorite game is StarCraft 2.
Just 'cause the Buddhas,
not
I
the
hate
original
the Buddhas.
StarCraft, actually. I like the original StarCraft a lot.
Oh my god, they're
But I
everywhere.
played way more StarCraft 2. And,
No, he knew I was
What
good.
if I should just...
yeah,
He knew
this
it's
game
gonna
is
go down to the
my
bottom, so
favorite
he put
RTS
Brutus in
game. It's
there.
the one I played the most of.
God.
I played this with my brother and my other friends a lot.
This guy, man.
And now it's free to play as well. But yeah, bought all the
No,
expansions
this-
for
I
it.
should just upgrade my
Heart of the
sharpshooter
Storm,
then. Maybe I'll just do
and
that, 'cause I don't
Into
think
the
they're that bad
Void.
against Brutus.
And what can I say? Like StarCraft 2,
No,
you can
God.
have custom maps, right, with the arcade mode, and
This
of
guy
course you
literally
can
puts
play
Brutus
the regular
everywhere,
multiplayer
so you have no choice
versus,
but to
you
fight
can
him.
play league battles,
Yeah.
and you can play the regular campaign. Like overall,
Brutus
it's just a game I
everywhere.
played so
So
much
annoying.
of. I have countless hours logged in StarCraft 2. This being a custom game, for example, of Marina Arena that I'm playing with my brother here.
Got another one.
That we used to play a lot.
No.
I played
No,
countless
no.
hours with my brother and
I don't think you can
my other friends.
defend against this one.
So yeah, no surprise for
Yeah.
number 1, really, if you know me. I love StarCraft, and StarCraft 2 especially. Yeah, just a game I spent countless hours in. Now, you might think it's not necessarily as impactful or as balanced as the first StarCraft game, but yeah, for me,
Oh,
just
no.
a personal, my opinion, I like StarCraft 2 better.
Can't do anything.
Yeah, because this is the one I spent more time in, for sure.
Okay. It's hard to beat them.
Yeah, they
Yeah,
play too much of this.
just play this a lot. So, anyways, my favorite strategy game and also my favorite game that I played on my channel is StarCraft 2.
And
So,
yeah, Beatles again.
And you guys can see a lot of StarCraft 2 sessions in my channel. So that's it, guys. And yeah, like I said, this is my own personal ranking and my own personal list. Of course, I'm betting a lot of people won't agree with this list because there's a lot of unconventional picks here. And yes, I realize there are a lot of highly acclaimed games that I don't have on my list. Like I don't have Zelda Breath of the Wild or Tears of the Kingdom, Ocarina of Time, Link to the Past. I don't have any of those Zelda games. I don't have Super Mario 64. I don't have Doom. I don't have Street Fighter 2. I don't have Red Dead Redemption 2 or Disco Elysium. That's a game that IGN put very high. So yeah, there's a lot of or Metroid or Super Metroid. You know, there's a lot of good games. Castlevania Symphony of the Night is another one. Like people always talk about. Like, yeah, is a lot of good games. Witcher 3, you know, SimCity, Civilization. Yeah, so many games that I didn't put on this list. And yeah, like Pac-Man or Tetris or yeah, like Space Invaders. Like I understand, right? A lot of highly acclaimed games I don't have on this list because it's a very personal list. I just picked games that I grew up with that resonated with me. It's a very personal list. It's not meant to be an objective list. I don't have a lot of games that many people would probably put on a list like this, but I think that's just because this is really geared towards me, my personal ranking. Like I said, it's really hard to make an objective ranking because how can you really be objective with an art form like video games? It's like asking me to rank movies or asking me to rank art or music. It's really hard to rank something that's an art form like games. So yeah, like if your favorite game is not in here, then it's not because I don't think it's a good game. It's just because personally these are the games that I went through, that I experienced, that resonated the most with me. So anyways, it's a very personal list. There's a lot of very personal picks for this list. Yeah, so you know, don't just flame me in the comments saying, hey, where is Zelda Breath of the Wild? Then you have Blake Stone Aliens of Gold on your list, but now Zelda Breath of the Wild. Like, yeah, I understand. I understand it totally, but it's not meant to be that kind of objective list. It's a personal list. So yeah, that's it, guys. Let me know if you guys well, I know you guys are going to disagree with this list, but let me know what you think of this list. And yeah, let me know what your guys' personal list would be. I think that would be kind of interesting, and what kind of games are similar to the ones that you did play to the games that were on my list, or the games that you guys agreed that I put on my list. Let me know what you guys think of my list. I think that's the most important thing. I just wanted to get this video out there to let you know what I preferred in the games that I grew up with and the games that I personally resonated with. So yeah, let me know what you guys thought of my list. I think that's what I really just wanted, not necessarily, you know, agreeing with my list, because I know it's a very unconventional list, but just to hear what you guys might think of it. So as you guys, let me know in the comment section below what you guys think. And as always, thanks for watching.